of him a little bit, and we were just having a bit of a laugh. Whereas Vinny would freeze, and then I'd have to rescue him. Yeah, he was really nervous.
But it's not like a free flow. You still edit, right? Bits and pieces out. Or you would rather it's a nice flow, minimum edits.
Bits, but mainly free flow. Yeah, so he kind of, I could just see him, like his brain starting to go a bit. So I was like, anyway. Yeah. And he was like, oh, thank you so much for rescuing me. Later. So. All right. What did I say that question was going to be, that first question? Why? What makes you an entrepreneur?
Thank you.
This looks like it comes very naturally to you, Tatiana. This looks like it comes quite naturally to you.
We'll find out afterwards.
Lee was really nervous as well. He was like, I've never done this before.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hot. So he had Prosecco as well, and then he was all right.
Maybe I should have some whiskey
You
right
don't
now.
need it. You can have it if you want it. This is part of the studio benefits.
Are you joking?
No, not joking. I said on the podcast training I did, I said to them as a joke, I said, don't you think it's a good idea to let your guests have a glass of something or other before
Yeah, I
to
think
get
I
them
remember
relaxed?
something like that.
Yeah, I said that. And they said, oh, we've never done it, but why not? And then I said it to Callum when I was here, and he pulled out a bottle of Prosecco, and I was like, why?
Not on my own. Are you having
I'm not.
a glass?
I've
Then
got
I'm
3
not.
interviews, and
Exactly.
yeah.
So we'll pass on that. I'll be all right.
But if it makes you feel more comfortable, then I will. Sure. Okay.
Don't worry.
Yes. Hit the record button.
Oh.
Roadcast the recording. ATEM recording. If there's anything going on. We are almost good to go on time. Just let me leave first. And then we're good to go.
Cool. Just keep your eye on
I'll be-
WhatsApp.
yeah.
I'll send you a message if anything.
Ta-ta.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Tatiana. Welcome to the Networking Spark podcast. It's amazing to have you here, and I really appreciate the journey you've taken today to come. May I ask you, what makes you an entrepreneur?
Hi, Jess. Thank you for welcoming me here, and thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here and talking to you. So I think, generally speaking, being an entrepreneur is for someone who is very creative in whatever field they're in. And very soon in my career, I realized that I cannot really be limited by constraints of institution or some sort of, established view of what a musician should be. So I decided I will embark on this journey of creating my own world. And being a musician, being a classically trained concert pianist, I very soon ventured into education. And it's just so many things that I wanted to do, so many projects that I wanted to work on. And I realized the only way of doing this is just working for yourself. So that's what I did.
Brilliant. Because I totally agree with you. All these rules and regulations that come with being employed are not for an entrepreneur. And you definitely do need a lot of creativity, which you've clearly got being a musician. Would you say you could teach anybody how to play the piano?
Yes, absolutely anyone, no matter what age, level, background they are. And in fact, I pride myself on being able to teach very quickly and easily. Over the years, I've developed my own method, which brings out a lot of logic in music, something that is not really talked about in music world. So most traditional teachers tend to go by showing rhymes or fingering numbers when it comes to learning the notes. and it does not really engage your brain very much. And I always say to my students that when you play the piano, it's only 5% of moving the fingers, 95% is the mental workout. So it's an incredible workout for the brain. And when you address the brain in the first instance, then the process is much easier, much quicker. It just all makes sense.
So it's potentially good for preventing Alzheimer's, for keeping your brain active as you get older. What's your youngest and your oldest client? How old are they?
I will just firstly confirm that it's absolutely true that it prevents all of those diseases. There's actually numerous research done on this topic. And because it forms like new neurons, cognitive processes are improving, memory is improving, not to mention the obvious like stress relief. And, you know, nowadays we're just so pressured with commitments, time, workload, that this for many people is a wonderful escape where they can just express their emotions and just feel free. So my oldest ever pupil was 75. And actually this is the point that people over 55, I would say, always look for piano lessons knowing the benefits already. So they have done their research. Maybe they don't even enjoy music that much, but they just want that stimulation for the brain because they know it can, you know, help them with memory and just keeping the brain alive and active for as long as possible. My youngest pupil ever was probably 3.5, and this was a case of a very pushy mother wanting to start as soon as possible, which at times can work, but I would say 3 is probably a bit too young for a child. For the same reason, because it involves a lot of thinking, a lot of understanding, and it's very hard to explain certain things to a child when they're so young.
You don't just teach people in one country, do you?
No. So currently I have students in Hong Kong, China, Japan, India, US, and predominantly still UK because I'm quite well known here and I've worked in various institutions. So yes, anywhere in the world.
That's incredible. And in Dubai as well.
Yes, thank you. In fact, this is the market that I'm trying to grow most actively, actually. There's a lot of interest. Probably because traditionally culture has not been something that was looked at in the Arab Emirates. But now I can see a lot of forces, like there are orchestras appearing, museums appearing. So clearly that cultural scene is beginning to be a bit more alive.
Yeah, because it's still very new, isn't it? So it's good for them to begin to build this. So are you able to talk about your clients? Probably not. If I was to ask you who's your most amazing client and who is your strangest client?
I can definitely describe in general terms without mentioning names.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So the most amazing client, I would put it in 2 categories. So the first category will be probably someone who is really determined to achieve quite a lot. So this will be someone who works really hard and wants to go for competitions and this is actually a child, I would say. So this is someone who is 8 or possibly 9 right now. She wishes to be a composer. She practices a lot. She enjoys working and performing on stage. But there's also a second type of client where they just derive enormous enjoyment, benefit, pleasure from playing the piano, not necessarily wanting to achieve a lot, but you can feel that passion for music and that passion for playing and musicality that comes through. And that is also quite amazing. So it's not always the same spectrum, but when I see that spark, you know, it always resonates with me. The weirdest, it will be probably hard to mention because I think as a true teacher, you always try and turn the situation around. So even if something was turning out to be a bit weird, you always try and find a different approach, maybe, yes, make it slightly better for them of an experience and better for myself as well.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. Well, thank you for sharing. So talking about Spark, I would love to ask you about networking.
Mm-hmm.
What's your experience of networking? What benefits have you got from it? What's your views on it in general for an entrepreneur?
Well, I think networking is extremely important. As you probably know, I always make an effort to drive, even if it's 2-3 hours for any networking event, because I know the benefit that I will gain and hopefully others will gain as well. I have been part of various networking events in the past and even at present, with variable degree of success. Sometimes it can be a bit dry, sometimes it can be very business focused. And I think because personally I know where I'm going, I don't really need any guidance or influence in that regard. But I always see networking events as incredible opportunities to just mingle, first of all, with the like-minded people, because being an entrepreneur can be a very lonely place, especially if you work from home or in your office, or you are a solopreneur, like in my case. I am just working for myself, just me, myself, and I. So getting to talk to people and bounce off ideas and just see the outlook to life, business, relationships. And at times, it can be surprising that I found inspiration in some most unpredictable conversations that were not related to music at all. Or I found solutions for my business, or some even technical processes that I was stuck in, just really not even planning having those conversations, just something that developed very randomly. So I always like to see it as like cross-pollination. So we're like bees on different flowers, and that process is a very important process, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, I like that visual.
Yeah.
And your network is your net worth.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. Let's dive a bit deeper. Let's talk about intuition. What are your thoughts on intuition, and would you say you are intuitive?
Yes, I am intuitive. My views on intuitions are that it's an important ingredient when you are in business. I think in fact, most of decisions right now are based on my intuition. Because I think with your brain, it's very hard to sometimes make decisions. Everything is about people. You work with people, you collaborate with people, you take advice from people, you take services from people, and you do not know people by just deciding on their credentials, even on the piece of paper, deciding, okay, this is someone I should go with. I have done that in the past, and it cost me dearly. So I try to always go deep down within me and feel, is there that connection? Can I feel the genuineness? Is it something that I feel comfortable in? And then I'll say yes very quickly to something that maybe for some will feel like, oh, this is a bit rushed, or you didn't have time to think it through. But that's because I know I have the answer from my intuition already, and I trust it 100%.
I was going to ask, you trust your intuition, yes.
And I think it's very important in business. And I think if you practice, because it's a skill, it's like a muscle that can be trained. I believe so, because I spent some time really honing this kind of intuitive, skills, and I could see how it has developed with time.
So how do you practice being intuitive?
You just test it. You literally test it on small things, with parking spaces, with, I don't know, predicting numbers sometimes.
Is that not manifesting over being
well,
intuitive?
I think it definitely interlinks, but manifesting is more, in my view, about creating big pictures, or actually also just intuitively knowing what your goal is. What do you aspire to achieve? That becomes your then manifestation goal. So you don't derive your goals randomly either. I think they are very much part of your intuition process. But just maybe sensing some situations. Can you predict? Sometimes you may think, of a person and they will ring you, or you may feel like, okay, today this situation is going to resolve, and it does. And it just gives you that boost and courage that, okay, this thing really works.
Yeah.
So that's how, and it's definitely practicable, and it's definitely achievable, and it can be an incredible tool.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. That's happened to me quite a lot lately, actually. So it's really interesting to hear. But it works both ways. You might be thinking about somebody you don't want to hear from, and then all of a sudden, because you're thinking about them, they get in touch, and it's like, oh no, stop thinking about it. So as you say, it's something you can really practice and hone those skills. So yeah, interesting. When did you first realise that you could tap into intuition?
Well, I started looking into this whole manifestation world, intuition, setting goals, and kind of really going along with your passion is when I decided that I'm going to go solo, that I'm going to create my own business, my own world. I'm going to just do projects that I love. It all kind of come together. So this was about maybe 3 years ago that I started this journey, but it's been a progressive process, and I'm still on that journey, and hopefully the way is only up.
And you're doing super well, super well.
Thank
I
you.
mean, what made you want to become a piano teacher? Tell us about your journey then.
I've always known that I will be a pianist. It's a very funny story. I do not come from a musical family, but as a child, apparently, that's what I'm told by my parents, I always ever played with a wooden piano, and that what gave my parents a clue that, or maybe they should take me to a music school. And ever since I started playing, and I went to music school, never had any other idea other than I want to become a pianist. It definitely shifted and kind of changed over time. So initially I wanted to be a performer. So I went to take part in many international competitions. Some of them I won. I studied in different countries as well. I went up to like postgrad degree, then gave lots of recitals, concerts with, played concertos with orchestra, solo recitals, again, all over the world pretty much. And then kind of gradually shifted into finding joy in teaching others. And I very soon realized I'm very good at it as well, which was helpful. Then I had many years in being part of private educational sector in the UK. So that gave me a lot of variety of students, and to really test some of those techniques that I'm now selling as part of my packages. So I have various courses for self-study, and I still teach one-to-one online predominantly.
And you've developed your own method, haven't you?
Yes. So taking from zero to playing pieces hands together pretty well in only something like 10 lessons. So this is what gives you full knowledge of the basics of piano. The most important for me is that I give you the tools so you understand it. I don't just teach you songs, but I give you that background knowledge as well. I always say to my students, if you come to me, I recite a beautiful poem, and I'm in awe, but then I give you a very simple book to read, and I realize you cannot read a word. Well, I'm no longer impressed. So I know there are many people out there who maybe want to learn off YouTube or some free resources where they think, okay, if I can just position my hands or press the right keys, I'll create that beautiful melody. And it's true, but then you can't read notes. So actually it's a very limiting probably way. So I've always known that my purpose is to give that knowledge to people so that they can use it. They can then learn any song they like. They will not be limited.
Yeah, so you can teach anyone how to play in 10 lessons and how to learn to read
the notes
music as well.
Yes.
Which means that then they can carry on and,
Exactly.
you know, amazing. And you're also developing something for autistic children as well,
Yes.
is that right?
Yes. So this came as well as a natural occurrence. It's just part of my list of students, really. When I was still part of various schools, I had quite a few children with autism, and I could see the passion from the parents. So they've obviously done a lot of research and known how music benefits their brain development. And they wanted their children to do really, really well, but it wasn't really moving forward as fast as maybe they envisaged. And obviously knowing that the autistic spectrum is quite a wide spectrum, so that some children can just be mildly affected and their brain cognitive processes are still very much intact, and it's very easy to teach them. And some, particularly one boy I taught in the past, he was almost like a musical genius. He could play anything from just listening to the piece of music, but he could not comprehend the reading. But that was, in a way, also his limitation that we wanted to break. There's no two ways about it. It's very beneficial for them. Piano is, in fact, the only instrument that has two lines that are written, notes are written in two different clefs. So for our brain, it's almost like reading two different languages at the same time. It's incredibly stimulating, especially for a child who is still developing. It's helpful in school. It's helping with focus, with attention, with many, many things. So yes, it took me, I would say, over a year to find some of those ways that I could sense that it's working. So those are the approaches that I might take to maybe then produce a course that can help also on a larger scale to many, many people. So this is something that I'm currently putting together, and hopefully it will be available in a few months' time.
Amazing.
But at least I've gathered all the research, having live lessons with those students. And yes, we all achieved amazing results.
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
I have...
And you can teach people wherever they are in the world now, which is
Yes.
amazing. You don't have to be in person.
No.
So when I remember I was learning classical music when I was young, and it was all in person. There was none. Obviously, there was no Zoom then.
Yes.
But I remember, because I learned from a young age, just standing there and playing and reading the music and not having. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because I was playing the violin, my fingers are moving, the bow's moving. I'm reading all of this music, but I wasn't thinking, is that a C? Is that a D minor? It was just flowing. And I remember thinking, wow, this is amazing.
Yes, and that's the point where I'm trying to get all my students to, because what you were doing is what I call directional reading. So you need my system only at the beginning, and that's why I say in 10 lessons you will know it. The rest you will progress and learn by reading directionally. So you're just looking, is the melody going up or down, are two notes skipping, or which direction? And with time, you just recognize all the notes as you recognize the alphabet, and you can read books without really going into details of, oh, this is letter A or B or C.
Yeah.
But yes, talking of modern technologies is quite amazing. I think the biggest test that I have conducted on this is being able to play in synchrony with my student online and being synchronized 100%. Or sometimes I put the metronome, which like ticks the beats for them, and they play, and again, it's all 100% synchronized. So there's absolutely no limitation, no restraint. And if you think about modern day life, and nobody has the time to waste in traffic, most of my lessons are 30 minutes. So if somebody was to commute and being, in traffic for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, commuting to me for a 30-minute lesson and then driving back the same journey, it just isn't very efficient. So in fact, even the students that I have who live close by, they're all online, just because
Fantastic.
You don't lose anything. It's just as efficient in terms of success or learning, and no other things that impede, like traffic.
Yeah. And
Time wasting.
This help you with your work-life balance, so it's called, because I know you're also a mum.
Yeah.
And I know you're also a single mum, which is a hard job to be able to work at the same time as caring for 2 children. So how do you manage all of that?
Well, my teaching time does not take that much time during the day, and I do balance it because I work from home. there's a lot of time where I'm free, where my children need picking up or dropping at school or for some other activities. So that is another benefit of actually owning a business and creating your own world, as I always say, is because you can structure it around you, around your commitments, and yes, you can balance it however you want. So I actually have time for everything. I have time for my own fitness, I have time for my children, I have time for travel, for new projects, for collaborations, for recording my pieces, for working on new courses, and for teaching online.
So you are doing what a lot of people really aspire to, because many people who are starting their own businesses or even running, multiple businesses really struggle with that balance, and they just get like stressed out and too much. So essentially, you've got to a place where it's like everything is working for you. Is there do you have any aspirations, or, if I was to ask you, where would you like to be in 5 or 10 years? What would you say?
Well, I definitely want to grow my students' portfolio. So I want my system to be well known all over the world. I have a long-term plan of arranging and organizing concerts in different countries. Right now, I do organize concerts twice a year for my students, which is an amazing opportunity to come together while studying online twice a year, to perform on stage. I also always play. There's a very nice social kind of vibe, and it's amazing. And if I can recreate this in different parts of the world, like Dubai, Hong Kong, this is what I'm aiming at. Working on more projects, so developing further courses. How else can I be helpful? Maybe developing more courses for advanced pianists, harmony courses or theory courses. There are lots of ideas that I have, and then maybe performing as well a little bit more than I do right now. So
where's the most amazing place that you've performed, being a concert pianist?
I can't think of a favorite.
Okay.
It's more the context, I would say. So something that comes in mind is a concert that I gave in the University of Manchester, for instance, where there were just lots of students, and later on, just to hear that it was really inspiring for them to hear, certain pieces. I played with an orchestra in Israel. That was amazing, in the middle of Negev desert. So lots of different stories there. But I definitely, with time, I want to revive that part of me, a performer part of me.
And it must be quite a rewarding job when you get that feedback from your students and feedback from an audience.
I think what you don't realize at times is, and that's why I wouldn't want to put what I do as a business or to classify as such, because sometimes we do not realize, we think it's just a business that we do, but actually it's so life transforming for some people. You just don't know until they come and tell you, oh, this has always been my passion and now I can do this. Or you've enabled me to, I don't know, achieve this and that and that. And you realize that, wow, you have actually contributed to something that is really precious in someone else's life. And that's, I think, the most important success and goal, I don't know, achievement.
And fulfilling your purpose.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you found your purpose at a very, very young age, which is amazing. What would you say to someone that's still looking for their purpose? They might feel a bit lost and they're like, well, I don't know what my purpose is.
I think, and that's something that I read in one of the books, so I will not give myself a credit for these words, but somewhere I read that as a child, or if you're an adult searching for this purpose, because when you're a child it's possibly easier, you can always look back and find things that are very easy for you to do. What is it that is very easy to do? Is it talking to people? Is it, I don't know, organizing things? Is it that you draw amazingly well and you just go back to it every time in leisure? Something that maybe you don't even pay attention to, but that comes with ease, you derive pleasure from. and that is usually a good indication. And then if you just work on this, and I think, remembering from my background, I think at times educational system just gives it to us in a slightly different form. They say, well, work on things that you're not good at. And I think with time, I realized that it's the other way around.
Yeah.
You just have to work on things that you're good at, because that's something that is clearly there as an indicator that this is something that you can grow into, I don't know, business, career, passion in life. And yes, so those are the clues.
True, isn't it? And this is like a bit of an issue often for children at school.
Yes.
Who have to fit into a box, and rather than encouraging them to really go for what they absolutely love and to go for that, they don't get the chance to do that until they're out of school, out of the system, and then maybe they become an entrepreneur, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And it's like that freedom it's almost taken away from children, isn't it?
Yes, and many people then discover after they've worked somewhere where they were completely not suitable, not something that they enjoy for many years, and then they take that, direction completely, like 360 degrees backwards, and just then try and find what is it that actually sparks that passion in me.
Yeah. So obviously your life is all about the piano. Outside of that, what are the things that keep you going, your tips for everyday life to keep yourself healthy, to keep yourself in good condition? I know you're into personal development. For anyone listening, what would you say are some golden nuggets of, habits, healthy habits that keep you going?
I think for me personally, and that applies to every area of my life, I never want to stop growing, improving or developing. Whatever level I am at right now, I would always try and find, okay, what else can I do? Or maybe there's something I don't know. Let's say nutrition. Have I yet found that optimum solution for myself in terms of diet? Because we're all so different. I don't believe in kind of box standard, advice. Eat this, don't eat this, or drink this, don't drink this. You just have to listen to your own self, your own body, your own heart, really. And that goes back to, I think, what we talked about initially, about intuition, about inner self and really knowing yourself. So that's one thing that I tend to do. I definitely always like to be stimulated and motivated by speakers, authors, so I do tend to read a lot, random books really. I might have 3 or 4 in parallel. And then more recently, I'm realizing that I do need to look after my body as well. So I'm dedicating more time now to, do some exercises and go for walks and be more in nature.
It helps your brain as well, doesn't it? Looking
Absolutely.
at your physical health, yeah. May I ask you, what's the hardest thing you've ever been through? And the reason I ask this is I believe that us as human beings are forged in the fire, and often the most difficult experiences, although they're horrendous at the time, can really help us grow. So I'm going to ask to dive deep there. If you want to share, you can share as much as you like or as little as you like.
So this is a very easy answer. Easy and hard at the same time. Easy because I definitely know what it is, and hard because obviously it was a very difficult experience for me, and it was my divorce. Or should I say rather the marriage itself. The divorce was more of a liberating journey, but it was something that maybe sparked that desire within me to actually look deep and to get to know myself again, because I lost myself. I realized I lost myself. I no longer knew who I was, what I wanted in life. I realized that maybe I was living someone else's dreams.
Was that
were
because
not
you were
my
trying
dreams.
to fit into the box
Yes.
of the... Yeah.
Yes, because in my view, I thought this is the togetherness, and I didn't realize that if someone truly, really loves you, they will allow you to be yourself. And the togetherness is then becomes like, I am unique, I'm my own self, and you are unique, you're your own self. But that wasn't the case. So it took me on a journey, but I'm so, so grateful for that journey. I don't think I would be sitting here. I don't think I will be the same person as I am right now if I've not gone through those 12 years.
What would that old self look like if you stayed put?
Well, the ending would have been very bad. I'm pretty sure of that. And it just would be a wasted life, I think. Life not lived according to my design, my purpose.
And would you say you're much, much happier now?
I'm not just happier, I am happy. I am whole, I am fulfilled 100%.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's a really, really good note to end on, because that's just wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm happy, I'm whole, I'm fulfilled. Congratulations, Tatiana. I think you're amazing. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you,
to the show
Jess.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. How long was that?
32.
Okay.
Oh,
33.
wow.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Spot on.
Yeah, if there's anything else that like you feel like you want to talk about, we could go on a little longer, but generally between 30 and 45 minutes.
I think it was
Yeah.
perfect.
Good. Yeah,
Don't know how you felt, but
we showcased. Did we showcase you
yeah,
enough? Do you feel?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I spoke about everything that I
Good.
do. Yeah.
Good. Was there any questions I missed? What are your top tips for creating a dream life? But it just didn't seem like. Oh no, that's someone
I think I
else's.
covered a little bit, no?
Yes, you did actually.
Like you just have to discover
Yeah.
what you're good at and your
Yeah.
passion.
Actually, I covered everything, so we're all good. Good. That was great. You come across really, really well. Cheers.
Thank you. For a change.
No, that balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you hear her for a change?
Yeah.
Well, because usually when we do chin, it's some other substance. It's some other substance. Okay, can I go now?
Some other substance. That sounds dodge. Yes, you're free to go. Thank you
Okay.
ever so much.
No,
What
thank
else
you.
planned today?
Yes, I'm teaching.
How are you? Oh, bless you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from 5 o'clock onwards.
Great. Well, I hope you have a safe journey home.
Thank you. And you're coming?
And now it's my turn. I'll start driving to you.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Tatiana. Great. Thanks. Oh, really appreciate it. And what we'll do, we'll get that into like little chunks and clips, so you've got lots of content that you can use as well. I'll come down with you.
Yeah, Callum
Thank
should
you
be
so
out there. I've
much.
sent him a message
I'll
saying that
take
we were done, but
My phone.
I don't know where he is.
Oh yeah, to get out of the gate, does he need to let her out? Or is it
I think it just opens when you
Just
pull up to the
Yeah.
thing. So I'll block this so you can get.
Alright.
It's gonna have to let you up anyway. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I'm gonna stop that. Stop that. That's his ass, isn't it? What the actual fuck? What we can do is just turn the brightness down. Maybe we can zoom in.
dog bark.
And then there was a
at one
dog
point.
bark, yeah.
So what?
I think on the actual microphones though, it'll be quiet enough.
No, but I
Right.
think we shouldn't do 1 o'clock again. I think we should either do 2 o'clock
Yeah.
or 10 o'clock. But because that was just, it was a little bit off-putting, I thought. So let me see if I've got a message from who's next is Hina.
So I've washed that glass for the
Oh,
guests.
great, thank
So
you.
we can use it again. And I stopped the recording so it's not recording us chatting. Should be alright.
Right. Shall we record some of the ads then?
Yeah, we can do.
Are we doing them filmed? We may as well do them filmed, and then
Yeah,
we can choose whether to use it filmed or just
exactly.
cut to.
So you know what you want to say
Yeah.
for each of them.
So I'm actually going to put
Anyway.
this here though.
Can you sit it on the side? Can you sit it on the side?
Why?
Yeah, maybe far in front of you. That should be alright. Let's have a look.
Oh, and my computer does need charging now.
Yeah. I've turned the brightness down so it'll last longer.
Okay, great.
That's why.
But it's about
That's
to
why it
run-
looks like that.
Yeah, it is about to run out though.
Okay. Well. let's-
Okay, so these are the intros as well.
I thought Kieran seemed a bit long, but let's just record it and see.
Yeah, Kieran's was a bit long, but he's got a big following.
Yeah.
Did it get boring? Because we can always edit it, can't we? If it was a bit boring.
I don't know. And that should. Is that charging? It should. And you've got full screen, so hopefully that's charging a little bit.
How was that
Very
one,
good.
by the way, with
Huh?
Tatiana?
Yeah, good.
I was struggling with momentum because I know her quite
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, she's quite formal.
Yeah.
Also, so she was a little bit.
She is. She's from
Yeah.
Belarus. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's how she is, right? So, you know, sometimes that's like that.
Mm.
Right. I'm gonna hit record again. Microphones are on. Camera's on.
Okay.
So just feel free. You don't have to clap. Just
Okay.
Feel free to go.
I'll do it again. Hello, welcome to the Networking Spark. On today's episode, we have Kieran Kevin, a world champion fitness coach and a social media expert. Kieran Kevin has a passion for helping individuals transform their lives. As a 3-time British, 2-time international and 1-time world champion in men's physique, he understands the importance of can I start again? I need to make this bit bigger.
Oh no, let me hit the stop record
No,
button.
it's fine. I've already done it.
Okay.
She's now recording some interesting.
Ah, yeah, okay. I was getting scared. I was like, oh, no, no, really hit it with salt. How was it?
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do the next bit. There was a lot of noise outside, but apparently that won't get picked up. There was a dog barking at one point. There was lots of
Wow.
people knocking and all sorts. So I just said to David, I don't think we'll do 1 o'clock again.
Knocking on the door.
No, no, no.
The,
on
the
door,
one,
but
the next door thing.
Yeah,
There was
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of, and then
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hear it, but I think for the
Yeah.
microphones, it's probably alright.
it was
and
just a bit
and
off-putting.
we'll
So I think.
process it anyway, so
Yeah.
that'll come
Why
out.
are you
Yeah.
sweating?
Because I'll kind of run back and I'm hot.
Ah,
This
so
is
you
kind
live
of
round the
big.
corner then? Is that right? You live round the corner?
No, I went to Apple.
Oh, okay.
I went to an Apple shop
Yeah.
because I got my phone just messed up. I needed to get the screen fixed.
Okay.
I was out of warranty by 13 days,
Yeah.
Of course.
of course.
Of course.
Went to 3.
yeah.
They said, okay, cool. All you have to do is, get it fixed, pay for it,
Yeah.
and then we'll refund you because you're still in warranty with our contract.
With the-
Okay.
right.
He-
Okay.
Hina's here. She's 3 minutes away. Sorry. So would you mind letting her in? And I'll just record this one. Thanks. All right.
Can
Okay.
you do it naturally?
What do you
Just
mean?
don't read
What
it
without
off the
reading?
page. Can you do one naturally and just?
I'll try.
Because you know what you've written down.
Well, no, not really. I haven't practiced it. Because if we're doing it as me not being filmed,
Yeah.
maybe I'll do the first bit. Oh, I don't know.
So maybe read one.
Yeah.
And don't even worry about looking at the camera at all.
Yeah.
Just read them.
I'll read it first and then
So
I'll do
go
an actual
through and
one.
read them all.
Okay. I'll just do Kieran
Yeah.
Kevin's
Okay.
reading it and then I'll do it naturally.
That's fine.
Hello, welcome to the Networking Spark. On today's show, we have Kieran Kevin, a world champion fitness coach and social media expert. Kieran Kevin has a passion for helping individuals transform their lives. As a 3-time British, 2-time international and 1-time world champion in men's physique, he understands the importance of combining physical fitness with a strong mindset. In addition to his athletic achievements, Kieran has expanded his reach by leveraging his social media. Do it again.
Keep going.
No. Hello, welcome to the network.
You're like me. You always want to
Yeah.
start over. You can just pick up where you left off because we can edit it.
Okay. In addition to his athletic achievements, Kieran has expanded his reach by leveraging his social media expertise. This is his words, that's why. In addition to his athletic achievements, Kieran has expanded his reach by leveraging his social media. As a seasoned social media strategist and creative, he has worked with renowned brands such as Sixic, S3 and the Disruptors podcast with Rob Moore. Kieran's innovative marketing techniques, including content marketing, influencer marketing and social media strategy, have helped businesses achieve their goals and drive organic growth. So whether you're an established brand or a startup, Kieran has the expertise and insight to elevate your social media presence to new heights. With his guidance, you can trust that your business is in capable hands. On today's podcast, Kieran takes us through his journey from being a world champion to wondering if he will ever walk again. It's an inspiring story you don't want to miss.
Right, now that bit is the one you look at the camera, just read that one last bit. That's all you need. On today's show, Kieran Kevin takes us through his journey, blah, blah, blah. That's all you have to say. Because I think that massive bit, that's way too long.
Yeah, I agree. That was
You're
just...
going to lose people in just that.
Yeah.
You'd have to clap.
Okay. Hello, welcome to the Networking Spark. It's great to have you here. In today's episode, we have Kieran Kevin, who takes us through his inspiring story from once never thinking he was going to walk again. Right. Okay, I'll just do it quick. Hi and welcome to the Networking Spark. It's good to have you here. Today, I'm going to interview Kieran Kevin, who was once a world champion in men's fitness, but he went through a point where he thought he was never going to walk again to where he is now. You don't want to miss this inspiring story. I can't do this. Man, are they here? No. I'm getting put off. Yeah. Hello. Oh.
Just talk to me.
Hello and welcome to... I can't do that because you're just going to make me laugh.
All right, fine.
Hello and welcome to the Networking Spark. It's great to have you here. In today's episode, I'm interviewing Kieran Kevin, who is not only... Hello and welcome to the Networking Spark. In today's episode, I interview Kieran Kevin, who is not only a social media strategist, but at one point in his life was a world champion in men's physique fitness. he got to a point where he thought he wasn't going to walk again. And so today we go through his inspiring story to where he is today. You don't want to miss this.
That's better.
Yeah, wasn't perfect. I do it one more time.
That was a good one, though.
Hello and welcome to the Networking Spark. In today's episode, I interview Kieran Kevin, who takes us through his journey from being world champion in men's physique fitness to... I've lost it. Never mind. Hello.
Hi, sorry. How are you? Oh,
You're right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for making the journey.
Oh, pleasure.
Yes.
Pleasure.
So,
Oh,
do you need
great.
to
You've
go
got
to
cameras.
the-
I do.
Yeah.
That is definitely what I need to do.
Of course. So,
Just
it's
quickly
just
refresh around here.
And sorry, I left the voice note for you
I
this
know,
morning.
but
And you know when you
I
think
saw
it's
it.
sent?
Oh.
So, are you, yeah.
I cleaned the last
Oh,
one.
you cleaned the last one. Okay. I'll keep this here just so you don't have to clean the next one.
Yeah, cool. That's fine. Thank you.
Oh,
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. I can stop and start them and do all that. It's
Cool.
fine.
Keep this door closed though.
I was more just concerned about them getting in and out.
Yeah. Because otherwise, there's going to be a lot of noise.
Yeah.
I think it's roughly around 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. They take their
It
breaks.
goes to lunch.
Yeah, so it's like kind of crazy.
It's all good though.
Yeah. So who's after this one?
This is Ema.
Yep.
Ema?
Mhm.
And then I think the lady this afternoon's got an MBA for something.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, Tatiana's like a piano teacher and
Yeah.
musician and something from Belarus.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
she was quite formal.
Yeah.
And a little
I saw
bit-
that.
a little
Like
bit
on
nervous.
like tightish.
Yeah. Oh, were you
yeah.
watching on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but it was okay.
Mhm.
I kind of thought she was going to tease out a little bit more about the divorce and whatever, but
Okay.
obviously she was,
Yeah.
wanted to keep that a bit
Yeah.
close to the vest, whereas some of the other guys that have been on have been a bit more open,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of going down an interesting road, and she was quite, a little bit hesitant about it, which is fine. You know,
Yeah.
some people don't like to open up, and I suspect that that was probably a pretty bad situation. So probably didn't want to, you know.
Yeah. Who wants to speak about their divorce?
And Jess, I don't get the feeling she's the type to really
To
push,
really pro. Yeah, probably.
you know. Stephen Bartlett would have Fern Cotton would have had him crying.
I've got more, but we'll pour some in there. And there's a thingy on there. Let's see.
There's a big
now.
bottle
I was
down
just
here.
about to.
Right, I'm going to
So yeah, let's take this off for a second, and then you can move it around, and I'll plug it back in if you want. Is that giving you any?
yeah, no, it needs a bit more.
It's fine, I can sit this down here while you're doing that.
Great, thank you.
Spark Business Network.
Let me get out of the way.
No,
I'll take some pictures of you
everyone's
as
it.
well.
Super excited. Just got to the studio with Jessie White. Sorry, Jess White. Jessie Lee.
Jessie's
You know what? I know
fine.
Jessie Lee. I used to know Jessie Lee.
Jessie's fine,
Oh,
honestly.
gosh, no, it's not.
Some people call me Jessie.
Super excited. Just got to the studio with Jess White. We're going to do a podcast today for the Spark Business Networking. Do stay tuned. I'll cut that bit out.
That's all right.
Okay.
Don't need to cut anything out.
No, the end bit. I was trying to I wanted to get really sure I got the
Spark
business.
Business Networking.
I should have said Spark.
Spark. Yeah, Spark's fine. Good. Yeah, cheers,
Ready?
Hina. Yeah.
You had a long
Loads of
day.
water.
We'll
No,
have to
not
sit
at all.
down and make sure.
I'd had an event last night,
Oh,
so I had a
I saw that somewhere,
Hmm.
I think. But you've always got events on, so
yeah. It was probably I was.
your energy's crazy.
That's all. I had a chilled morning and I
Oh,
did some
nice.
yoga and just a couple of admin bits, so all good.
Good. Headphones? No headphones? Don't
No
need
headphones.
Yeah.
It's all filmed. It's all like
Amazing.
they've got
So we've
really
got
good
two-way.
mics.
That's amazing.
Yeah, all good.
Brilliant setup.
Yeah,
Great
so-
find.
Yeah. So you get lots of great content afterwards. So
Yeah,
it'll
I'll
be worth
keep
your
cutting.
journey
Yeah,
over
yeah,
to get
I'll
it chip
chop.
chop
Yeah, I'll chop
put it
up.
onto your
Munch.
socials as much as you like, because there'll be lots of bits of, obviously I'm going to ask you questions, so it'll be all sorts of stuff that you can use to
Yeah.
kind of talk about to what you do,
Yeah.
and then you can use that on your website, on your socials, wherever you like. So
Absolutely. I saw your event, the networking, speed networking.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant.
yeah, that's what we did
I
last
thought-
night.
yeah,
I
oh,
have the cowbell.
Oh, okay. Oh gosh, that's
Every 5 minutes I'm dinging the cowbell.
brilliant.
Have you done much in terms of networking? Is
I
that-
used to do a lot.
Did you?
A lot. I used to do a lot, which I'll go into. But as I've established in the coaching business,
Yeah.
it's like, hold on, you need to start networking again. So when I saw that, I thought, yeah, I've got tons to speak about.
Yeah.
So quickly I'll just touch on things. So
Yeah.
I can touch on 2 of the areas for you on how, because I came from a dark place into where I am now. So I think that's, it depends on you if you want to touch on that. But obviously I've got the network, and I used to be a member of Ladies Chamber of Commerce.
Wow.
I used to be a speaker for them many, many years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
From my illness, from the dark period, I got into permanent cosmetics, medical tattooing to help people achieve it. I can really quickly say this, to help build their confidence.
Yeah.
And that was on the outer side. And then obviously now I'm going on the inside,
Yeah.
and working with their minds.
Yeah.
That's my
Amazing.
story.
Is there anywhere you don't want me to go?
No.
No, don't
No,
worry.
I'm pretty.
I won't do anything.
Yeah, no,
else.
I'm pretty okay with things. Yeah, I'll be able to. I've done quite a few. I mean, I've got, I haven't done any podcasts for about a year of my own though. A year and a half.
Yeah.
I
So,
need to start. Oh my gosh,
what's your podcast about?
Feel Fabulous. It's called Feel Fabulous.
Okay.
Rob named it.
Oh, did it? Rob Moore named it, did he? Cool.
It was very different before because I've been around Rob for a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean back. Is that okay? Make sure that my bag's not. He used to be really different before. It used to be just different. He used to do Facebook Lives. You'd go on his lives. You'd do lives with him. I've got about 3 podcasts with Rob.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't used them yet though. I am going to.
Yeah, you should do.
Yeah. I've got Let's Get Personal with Rob.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cool.
I used to do a fair amount before.
Is this where you feel comfortable?
I think so. I feel like I'm a little bit away from. I'm one of these upright people. I need to be upright on my chair. I don't like slouchy. That's
A
it.
bit closer.
That's it. Yeah.
It kind of doesn't matter. Just get comfortable.
No, I
and
need
then
to
we
be
can
comfortable because I felt like I was like that, and that's not me. So I'm normally, I like to be upright.
Just make sure
I
you're
have
in
to
the
say,
right
Callum, I
frame.
think I preferred the other table. This one just feels quite, as Tatiana said, it feels a bit formal. Yeah. But we'll see after, because you like it,
It's
don't
good.
you?
Yeah, I think
You
it's
think
better.
it's good? You think it's better?
I do personally, but that's.
What colour was
See,
the round
It doesn't
table?
matter what I
White.
think.
I really like
I like this.
You like this?
Yeah.
We did do it before on the chairs,
Yeah.
but that causes a bit of problems because the chairs can be different heights on because they're 2 yellow chairs. When the cameras came, but the cameras weren't set at the right level, so it was a bit of a nightmare. So we've gone with chairs now.
Oh, yeah, I prefer chairs. That's why I was asking because sofas just. I'm not a slouchy person. I don't
Yeah.
sit on a sofa. I'm always upright. I'm always almost
Good,
upright.
good
But
posture.
yeah, well, not. That's
Yeah,
why.
you're a good teacher.
Definitely not. I'm like this all day long.
Oh, are we ready?
Yeah, yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah. I think so. Yeah. So you can go whenever you're ready.
Okay. Right, so we're going to... Okay. Hina, welcome to the Networking Spark podcast. Thank you so much for making the journey over here. I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you.
So, I hear you've met the Queen.
I've met the Queen. I used to supply products for the Queen.
Wow.
Yes.
What sort of products?
Natural products. So I'm really into natural products. After having an autoimmune disorder, I found that I couldn't use certain products with chemicals and things, and there wasn't enough at that time on the market. And I'd already known that I wanted a new healing product for one of my businesses elsewhere, an aftercare product. And I just thought, you know what, I just love natural products. I love animals. So I had natural products for humans, a few, and I actually had natural products for pets.
Wow.
So the Queen
ordered products from us.
Amazing. How did that happen?
We sent some samples and she loved them. I phoned up and actually it was really interesting. The gentleman on the phone was explaining how it works.
I thought you were going to say you phoned the Queen then.
Oh gosh, yeah, I wish. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I don't know the formal name, what the person's called, but it's someone who,
Butler.
obviously it's not the butler, but like that kind of thing. There's a system in place, and they'll literally he said we literally drop the Queen a note with whatever it is, and then she takes it and that says yes or no, and that's it. And that was it. Yeah, so it was brilliant. Unfortunately, we didn't keep the contract going because I didn't have the right team at the time, but it was very interesting. Very interesting.
That's so inspiring to know that you can send samples to the
Yeah,
Queen.
of course, to any of the royal, to anybody, absolutely anybody. Send samples, get your products out there.
Wow. And what led you to getting an MBE?
The MBE. So yes, I recently met Prince William, and that was pretty surreal actually, because I can be around celebrities and VIPs all the time, and I'm not fazed by it because they're absolutely lovely. But I was a little bit starstruck with Prince William. It's really funny. I haven't stopped reading his articles since. But he was so charming. I mean, gosh, the communication that I just found, his communication, it was on a different level. These guys are trained to just be able to make you feel completely relaxed, absolutely anybody, any level, any walks of life, and just make them feel amazing and be able to speak. His communications were amazing. But yes, that was actually just 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
It was just 2 weeks ago. I got the MBE a year ago.
Yes.
And I thought that, you go in to the palace. I thought I was going to Buckingham Palace to receive the award. And it doesn't work like that. It was a year later. So literally a year later,
Incredible.
which was just 2 weeks ago. And it was at Windsor Castle, which was amazing.
Did you wear something nice?
I wore a pink dress. I wore a pink dress. The funny thing about the dress is I purchased it last year because I was all excited. And then when I went to try it on for, just to get ready for this date, the June, it didn't fit. So I've been on this diet for the last 4 months trying to get into this dress.
You're only tiny.
So, I know, but the dress was tiny. So it's like I needed to be tinier.
But bless you.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing experience. It was amazing. You go around the castle and it's so organised. I mean, gosh, every part of it, you walk a distance, there's somebody else there to welcome you. Congratulations. It's all really upbeat and really just high energy. And obviously everything's in gold. So the energy of gold, the frequency of gold is pretty phenomenal anyway. So everyone's just it's like this everywhere. And it's like, congratulations, thank you. And that happens about 14 times. You go through these things 14 times until you actually then go up to Prince William.
Wow.
And you've got you've got a certain amount of time until you got the queue to walk on.
What did you say?
We talked about, firstly he said scar camouflage. So I was taken back by that because I didn't actually think he known what I was there for. Because he sees tons of people, but I've realised they just probably get a quick little notice when they give them an award. And he said, so scar camouflage. I said, yes, I got into scar camouflage from actually falling ill myself and having treatments myself. I was so blown away by it that I decided that I just had to do that for other people. And it was just my mission then to build confidence back into people, because at that time my confidence had plummeted. And that treatment for me, literally overnight, I remember speaking to somebody, a friend, the next day. I said, you know what? I'd only just started a mortgage company at that time after leaving Bloomberg. And I decided, you know what? No. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So I retrained, did that. But he knew all that. So that was pretty amazing. And then he was asking me about that. And then I said, I've just said that I've worked with people for a very long time, building their confidence on the outside. And now I really want to work on the inside for well-being and just mental health. And he was like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. He was like, that's so needed right now. And it was just so lovely. And then I said, I hope to hope to have my own charity one day. And he goes, okay, and how will you go about that? And I just thought, okay, how will I go about that? I said, well, I used to be an ambassador and for quite a few charities and a patron. So I do know people around me who can support me and guide me. And then it was my cue to go.
Wow, that sounds incredible, Hina.
Yeah.
So tell us a little about your journey with networking. So you're talking about being an ambassador, and have you done much networking in your life? Tell us about your experience.
Absolutely. I think and it's not even just business networking. I think in life in general, you network, you socialize, you know, if you're not around people, you're going to network and find places to meet people. So for business, I just think it's fundamental. It's just so you have to network. So the funny thing is, I started my main business, about 17 years ago, Soul Cosmetics. And
But Hina, you don't look old enough. Carry on, sorry.
Oh, bless. I feel it. So the business, you know, did well. It's after an illness I decided, as I said, to train into that. And I found that, okay, I'm going to start needing to network here. So I joined groups and networking groups, Ladies Chamber of Commerce, where I got to speak now and again and just join in and just really meet like-minded people or different businesses to get my name out there.
Let's come back to networking in a minute. Let's dive deep now. Let's learn a bit more about Hina. So it sounds like you've become successful after a big journey. Tell us about that, if you would.
It's an ongoing journey, I think. But certainly, yes. I had an abusive marriage, so I came out of that with 2 amazing children. So they're only 2 and 4 at that time, and I built up the courage to break it. Took a long time, but it's one of the hardest things. If anybody unfortunately is in that situation, you'll know it takes a lot. It takes an absolute lot to break it. But it was the end of the tether when I saw my son have his hands over his ears. I thought, no, that's it. I'm not doing any good by staying in this relationship at all. So I decided to leave. No financial support or anything. I was like, okay, all right, I've got a mortgage to pay. So I converted my home into HMO on the top. I lived on the bottom, and it was just me and my 2 sons. And then I soon realised that, okay, you know what, Hina, you're going to need to do something to earn 2 salaries, okay, to make this work. So then I started training. Believe it or not, I did IT engineering, and that's how I got into Bloomberg. It progressed from there, and then I decided I wanted to do my own thing. I started a mortgage consultancy for a very short period of time. I then fell ill. It was just it was autoimmune disorder. I actually suffered from alopecia at the time. It was after spending a lovely afternoon with my friend in the garden. Got sunburnt, hair started falling out, eyebrows started falling out, my eyelashes started falling out. Thank God it's all back, and thank God for lash serums. But it did all sort of went white. So thank goodness also for L'Oreal for the amazing hair dyes.
And that was just from getting too much sun that triggered it.
Yeah, it triggered it. But in fairness, it was a trigger. It was probably underlying, and obviously the stress and everything, perhaps the build up from everything had built up to that, and that that was a trigger, and it just literally over 3 months just like dropped. It was everywhere, hair everywhere.
Stress is a killer, isn't it?
Stress is just the worst thing ever. It happens to everybody in anything, and it affects people in different ways, and the stresses are different for different people. So it's just understanding those stresses. But so the journey started from there really, and then I found a place to have some tattooing, some eyebrows put back on, and some eyeliner which mimics eyelashes. And I was just blown away by that. I really was. At the time, the person who was doing it was a school as well, and she asked me, do you mind if I talk to this potential student, I suppose? I thought, no, fine, no problem, go ahead. She was talking away. I didn't think anything of it, but of course it was all going in my subconscious, wasn't it? And then later that day, I just kept thinking about it and kept thinking about how it made me feel. Just a very quick treatment from when my confidence had absolutely plummeted, from just raising it and boosting it like that over a treatment. I just thought, you know what, that's phenomenal. I want to do that for other people. And that was it. That was the start of that journey. I went to train from various people, became quite reputable in the industry. People would fly in to see me because I then specialised in medical scar camouflage. So that could be scars, burns, self-harmers, any type of scar really. It was just really helping people rebuild themselves, because even though it's on the external, it helps on the inside.
It's all about confidence.
It's all about confidence. And then from then, the other ventures kind of just started.
Yeah, so tell us about those other ventures.
Yeah, so obviously the product business, and then I've got, and then you've got Ultimate Success, which is my baby at the moment. Well, it's baby. It's 3 years in the 2-3 years in the making, part time.
It sounds good. What is it?
It's a coaching business, 1-to-1. I coach. I also public speak. So Jessie, you've been on some of my sound baths, so you know also I'm really into the frequency thing, the energy thing. So I'm an energy coach as well. So I'm now on a mission to speak to as many people as I can, and I really want to help people to be able to help themselves. Because one of the biggest things for me was when I was after I broke up in that marriage, I became very I became very not withdrawn. I became like a lioness to my children, and there's nothing that could come near us. But unfortunately, I wouldn't step out of it either, which of course then means that I wasn't open to help.
Which is damaging in a way.
Which is damaging. And the thing is, I could have progressed a lot longer. That went on for about 15 years, by the way.
Wow.
So me just trying to make it on my own. Even when I had investors interested in the product business, I was like, no. I just wouldn't open up. And then it's when I started to get mentors and help. And that's when things dramatically changed for me in the biggest way. And that's what I'm really going to advocate now, is that try and get mentors, try and get coaches, try and get people, just open up, ask for help. There's help out there. And it's really difficult though for people when they've gone through certain things, because just firstly, you might feel a little bit embarrassed. You might feel you don't want to go there with that at all. You don't trust people anymore. And so it's really important to just get out there. Networking groups are the easiest way to do it, you know, because you can be there. You don't have to be there. It's not, you can go to larger ones so that it's not so intimate that you have to be talking directly to people. It's funny, isn't it? I say that and now that's all I do. But
you might find your next mentor there, for instance. You might find your next client. You never know what doors open. And I think the most successful people have all got mentors, right? Or coaches.
100%. I have about 3 in different areas.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be without it at all. Yeah, definitely. You can meet anything. You can, like you said, you can. I've met people and then had contracts. You know, you just go with an open mind, not having. Of course, you might have a goal, but it's amazing the kind of things that can just surface from networking groups. Or you meet somebody who knows somebody. You know, and it's about connections, finding those connections.
Do you prefer the structured networking or the relaxed, free-flow networking?
I think it depends on what my goal is, what I'm trying to achieve out of it. I like both. So, like I just said earlier, the sound of your speed networking. I love things like that because that sounds fun.
Yeah, and it makes sure everybody in the room gets around to speak to everyone, but without, you know, it creates a bit of fun as well, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, may I ask you more about your healing? So you run this amazing sound bath, which is free, which I just think is wonderful. You do it once a week online. What led you to become a healer?
I've always been told that I'm a healer. Way back. And I've always felt frequencies, believe it or not, with electricity, and I've just felt it. I've always had it in me. And it was with a mentor 3 years ago who just pulled everything out of me, and then it was just came straight to it. So I'm very intuitive, can work with frequencies, feel vibes, and just can feel things and know things. And I just thought, you know what can I do? I've always been told, okay, you can do one-to-ones. I love doing one-to-ones. I absolutely love it. But it's not big enough, is it? If I need to be able to share and help people one-to-one, I'm not going to be. What can I do? I love music, sound baths. I used to do music, so sound baths. So I did a quick course in sound baths just to make sure I understood the instruments. But other than that, it's really feeling it with intuition, and that's when I started doing the sound baths. So last year I decided to do free sound baths via Zoom, so people, you know, don't feel committed. There's no expense. Anybody can join from any walks of life, anybody who wants a bit of healing. And then during the sessions I do like a bit of a guided meditation, helping people through clearing the chakras, clearing energy blocks that may be within them, that could be holding them back, moving forwards. And that's massive. Helping people just to realign themselves, rebuild themselves and love themselves, most importantly. So yeah, that's been going on every single Wednesday. I beg your pardon, I missed one so far. That's it. But other than that, every
You're
single
always
Wednesday,
there.
always
which
be
is,
there.
which is wonderful. And you have a lot of people on there as well, which is great. You just said to me that you know things, like you're intuitive, and I know things. Can you dive a bit deeper into that? What do you know?
So I can channel into energy. And
Yeah.
then basically know frequency, so I can tell. With my clients, let's say I might be looking at their anxiety, I might be looking at some agreements they may have made. I won't go into it too deep. I'm going to keep it very light. They may have things within them that is holding them back, and I can tune into it and see it straight away. So this isn't at subconscious, conscious level. This is at DNA cellular level. And then I'll go ahead and just like scoop it up and clear it.
Okay, wow. An agreement they make.
You may have agreements
subconsciously,
with you may have made them even before you were born. So it depends on what backgrounds you're from and what you believe in, but certainly there's many religions that do recognize that you have agreements, that you have purpose. And there are some things that you may have made agreements thinking, you know what, I'll just I won't really do it once I'm there, it's different. But you're held to it, and it's in your DNA, so you're tied to it. It's like a vow, and I can break those vows.
And can you pick up on people's energy immediately? So if you met somebody that perhaps wasn't such a nice person, would you instantly know?
Yeah, definitely. Now I can manage it. Before I actually knew this was within me, it would be a clash. So it could be, I'd be getting irritated by them, but not knowing, because I'm feeling what's deeper inside them. So I'd just be irritated and think, what's their problem? Or, what's their attitude? And then I would have an attitude back. But now I'm able to just kind of dial down and just get on with it, because as much as I'd like to say we always want to be around people with high frequency and lovely energy, we're not. Simple as that, isn't it? It's just life. So you've just got to know how to manage it in different situations.
And how do you know when someone's got high frequency?
I feel it. I feel it straight away.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll feel it.
I love it. And when
Like you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you've got an amazing energy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, thank you, Hina. Bless you. Well, snap. And a sparkle in your eye as well.
Oh.
When did you learn that you were intuitive? Was it from a child? Was it something that grew?
When I was a child, I used to now and again have feelings or premonitions or things, but I thought nothing of it. As most people who have these don't, you just try and block it out.
Yeah.
And then slowly it would be happening more, that I'd kind of know things, or even my sons have said, how did you know that? How did you know that? I'm like, no, what? I don't know. I mean, it still happens even now. I'll say things, or I'll say something to somebody, and I just don't even realize why I've said it. And it's because I felt the energy. For instance, like a couple of weeks ago, I said to my son, just, the traffic's, it's a bit crazy out there. Just be careful. It seems like people are driving a bit crazy at the moment. He'd just gone to his car. He was going up north. And within 3 minutes, a car was upside down outside our house.
Okay.
I was like, oh, God. And that freaks me out a little bit still. But I'm like, oh, God, I wish I could just know things a little bit more to help the situation. But it's not to be helped. It's what it is. Yeah. So I'm learning that. It is what it is. And you just, okay, I felt it. That's fine. That's it. End of.
Let it go. Yeah. Do you believe in law of attraction and manifesting?
100%. I mean, we all are what we, create around us, and our energies, our thoughts. I always say your thoughts are your prayers. That's the one thing I'll always say to my clients. Why are you thinking that? You're praying for that. If that's what you're thinking, that's what you get. It's actually really simple though as well, although it's not so simple, because our minds, we have emotions, thoughts. It's difficult. Us human beings are so much more powerful than people actually realize. We are so powerful, but we only kind of have like that much. Like for the sake of the podcast, I've said about not even 20% of our powers that show, and we live those powers, because they've all been dampened down, hidden, fear, all these things that have just crushed us. So it's just finding ourselves again and being more aware. And I tell you what, people are opening up now more and more. People are awakening, and it's amazing. It's amazing seeing more light.
Yeah, it's almost like, as you say, like an awakening, like parts of the brain are being woken up, because they do say, actually, we only use a certain percentage of the brain, right? And there's the pineal gland,
Yeah.
you know, being opened up and stimulated causes all sorts of amazingness and intuition. So
Yeah.
that's why I love to.
We all have that, you see. We actually all have that. It's not just something I have. We actually all have it. Obviously, some are more in tune than others or more intuitive than others, but it's something we all possess. We all possess those qualities and those gifts, let's say. I mean, I've got a chapter in my book called Dance of the Universe, and I've got a chapter written there about how my dogs taught me how to use energy. And that was something that really also brought it out of me, because they only use energy, they don't speak.
Yeah.
Everything is energy and frequency with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
To understand animals, you only go in the language of frequency,
And they're always happy.
and they're always amazingly happy.
I think dogs
Most
are
of-
amazing teachers.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
definitely. So, do I believe in law of attraction? 100%. Your thoughts are your prayers. So, whatever you're thinking, change that quickly. If it's not high frequency, if it's not what you want to be in line with, you need to get it out of your head. How do you get it out of your head? Affirmations. People say affirmations don't work. No, a single affirmation isn't going to bring you everything. You're not going to be able to manifest your whole success from an affirmation. But what it does, it's a tool. It's a tool to help you align your thoughts and your thinking and your manifesting in the direction of where you want it.
Yeah, to take the reins of your brain, right? And because
That's
it's, as you say, thinking that your thoughts are so important. So, and we as humans can naturally, I mean, we are wired to, you know, look out for the danger because of, you know, where progression in life. So we're naturally wired like that. And then a lot of people get anxiety, but the power is knowing that you can change that through your thoughts.
That's
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I mean, it's difficult. It's really tough. And still to this day, I use affirmations. You know, if I was running late, let's say, to be here at the studio, I guarantee you I'd be in an affirmation. So I'm not thinking about being late or the fear or the, you know, it's not fear, but I don't like being late. I don't want to be late somewhere. I would go into an affirmation. Trust in divine, trust in divine, trust in divine, trust in divine. It'll work out. Don't worry. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Go with the flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us about your book.
Dance with the Universe was written about 8 years ago, and it goes through a lot of analogies. But I wrote it because firstly I wanted to express how I got through darker periods of my life to where I am now. I mean, I'm definitely not where I want to be, but I'm certainly on the right track, and definitely on my way to succeed in my goals. It's got lots of analogies: psychological abuse versus physical abuse. It's got a gourmet meal versus microwave meal. You know, are you going to wait long for something, or you just want it so snappy that you've cut it short and you have the half of the gift that you were meant to have? It just uses tons and tons of examples that I've used and have experienced through my journey from going from the dark to the light. And I'm still obviously on my way.
It's all about the journey, though.
It's all the journey. It's all the journey. Funny, I spoke to a book publisher recently, and I said, do you think I should rewrite that book? Because I said, it doesn't really align with me anymore. And she said, no, it doesn't align with you right now, but somebody else is at that stage where it does align. So I was like, she's like, no. And I just thought, oh my gosh, of course, it's not to align with me. It's a new book.
Yeah, I totally picked up that from you when I asked you the question, like saw it in your eyes. Maybe it's not, where you're at now, but you never know who you're going to help.
Yeah.
And that's why I think sharing hard stuff that you've been through is so important, and being an open book, and all the hardships you've been through, by talking about them, you could really help and inspire someone.
Yeah, definitely. That's my goal. That's 100% my goal, because it's like I said, the networking groups, all these things can help you rebuild your life, believe it or not. It's not just about building your business. You're rebuilding yourself. You get to speak to people who may not be so confident in speaking, let's say. You get to speak with lots of people. You're going to polish up your social skills or your speaking skills.
A lot of people don't like speaking to people. A lot of people are introverts, and a lot of people find networking really difficult, or it makes them have this ick feeling. So that's why I make a really big effort to make them easygoing and relaxed, because not everyone likes it. But as you say, there's so many benefits from it. When you relax and you get to know someone, it can just have the most incredible gifts. and it's getting through that barrier of like, I don't want to speak to them, I feel a bit ick. When you can learn to relax and get through that, then there's so many gifts that happen. So you said that you're not where you want to be. Where do you want to be, Hina?
I really would love, like you said, one to many. I want to go global, and I really hope that later on this year or next year I'll be able to open my own wellbeing organisation or charity, and be able to just go out there and just speak to as many people, but on a global range. Yeah, I'd say definitely. I've got to speak to many. I've got to share.
Do you know what? You sent some samples to the Queen, so why not send some samples to Prince William? You've already spoken to him about that.
Yeah.
You might get some backing there.
There you go.
I can see it happening. And I think it's incredible what you're doing, because you're doing things from the heart, you're doing things from your purpose and with your passion, and you're doing things to help others, which is just beautiful. So that's, if you were to look into the future in 5 years' time, you've got this big global charity. Anything else?
No, that's it for me. That's my goal. That's what I want to leave with that charity, and obviously my ultimate success, helping people individually. I'll always still help individuals because I love it, and it helps you learn about what's really going on out there and what people need. So it helps me to deliver my talks better.
Yeah. So imagine some of the listeners might be, there might be somebody going through what you went through before, and you feel trapped, and you don't, what did you feel then, and how do you feel now, and what sort of advice could you give somebody that might be going through that at the moment?
There's people from all walks of life, and I write that in my book as well, because you'd be amazed, whether it be in a palace, whether it be in a mansion, whether it be in a council house, wherever it is, people can be going through exactly the same thing, and you'll be shocked. So never, ever be embarrassed about what you've gone through. In fact, you should be so proud of yourself if you're still here and living to tell the tale. Because to make it through, firstly, that's a massive achievement. Then I would say just try and seek help. And it doesn't mean you're weak. It means you want to go forwards from where you are right now. And it's like, if you want to be a brilliant baseball player, you're not going to just go out and there do it by yourself. You're going to get a really good coach who knows what they're talking about and can guide you to get to where you want to be. And it's the same in life. So whether it's a life coach, counsellor, therapist, even doing some yoga to try and just reconnect with yourself, whatever it is, just go out there and get help.
And I think often that's the hardest bit. A lot of people might not actually admit to needing help, or want to admit, or want to ask, and that can be the most difficult part.
100%.
Was it for you?
I don't think it was. I think it was definitely to begin with, and then it was more about I just didn't trust anybody. I didn't trust anybody, and there was, even when to give you an example, when my hair, so I have a clinic, like we do medical, and the one thing that all the team were always trained about is everybody should be made to feel comfortable when they walk in. You don't look at them, you don't ask them about anything, you just seat them, welcome them, and that's it. And it's just really smiley, and that's it. No questions asked. I was in a hairdresser, and this is to give you an example. So obviously I said earlier my hair went all white on the top. And then the hairdresser shouted out to someone, make sure you get all the whites. I just wanted to crawl under the table. And people might be listening thinking, well, there's nothing wrong with white hair. Absolutely. When you get them for a natural cause, it's so different. Like I've got white hair on the sides. That's different from the one that was on the top. That was from my illness. So it was a little bit different and made me feel pretty insecure. And I didn't feel secure about, going out and about, let alone someone shouting it across the hairdressers and telling the whole world that she's got white hair, sort of thing.
And now, I think if that happened now, you wouldn't mind. You'd be fine.
I wouldn't.
You're strong. But back then, you were, in a vulnerable place.
A very vulnerable place. So it's just recognising for people who are also trying to help other people, try and just recognise. And especially if people haven't been there, that's the hardest thing, I think. If you haven't been there and you are in an area where you're helping to elevate these individuals, it's understanding what they're feeling at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. What out of your experiences, because you've been through two really big ones there, which it might be difficult to compare, but which was the most painful?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think it's not the physical abuse, it's the psychological abuse that I suffered.
So you had
from-
physical abuse and
yeah,
psychological.
it was the
abuse.
psychological abuse.
You had
That's the
both at the
I
same
had
time.
had both, and it's the psychological that's the worst
Yeah.
because it just takes so much to be around a narcissist who was very good at what they did, mind manipulation, and to seriously implant it all into me, for me to seriously believe these things were true about myself. It takes a lot to come out of that. I'd say that's the longest. That was hard. That was really hard. That took a long time for me to rebuild confidence. Actually, you know what? You're not the ugliest person in the world, and you're not the stupidest person in the world. You know, it's and you know the ironic thing is, people meet me all the time. They think they can't put me with my personality to become that submissive person in abuse, but it happens. So that's the other thing from this as well, that people assume people are strong and they come across really confident in certain areas because they love other parts of their life, but that area of their life they became weak and vulnerable and submissive, which I did.
And not just that, you were a fairly new mum. You had a 2 and a 4-year-old. And when you become a mum, it becomes all about the children. And then if you're getting abuse at the same time, then, wow, you know, that's a horrendous thing to go through.
The abuse was before the children. The physical abuse was before the children. That stopped after. It was the psychological abuse after. But I was also very young. I got married when I was 18. So that 18-year-old who thought she knew everything in life and argued with her parents that she was ready to, you know, I was in love, young and in love. And I was like, that's it. So there was lots of lessons to be learned through that. So I was vulnerable, naive. And then because a lot of people saw it as a fairy tale wedding and a fairy tale marriage, it was very difficult for me to say, well, actually, this is what's going on.
Were your parents happy with them at the time?
No.
Oh, so they saw through it.
They didn't like him. My sister they didn't like him. I was in love. I was headstrong girl, you know. It's just crazy how you can be so headstrong, so confident, know what you want, and then it's like, boof, flat.
Yeah. And then you lose that trust with your heart, which is like so massive. Have you refound that trust with your heart?
Yeah. It's such a lovely thing. It's really amazing. I mean, things aren't, you know, everything in life isn't hunky-dory. It's how life is. It's full of obstacles. And but it's just about having that belief in yourself and trust. Trust is a massive word for me, I think. Believe and trust.
Yeah. And that also might come from your intuition.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's definitely developed through that, yeah.
Amazing. So you've gone through this huge journey, and I love to see that when someone's gone through some, you know, come from really hard times to then going and getting an MBE, meeting, you know, supplying to the Queen, meeting Prince William, and, you know, would you say you've got multiple streams of income at the moment?
Yeah, I have. I mean, to be honest, it's something that I want to, you know, break down a little bit because it's tiring, and my focus is like, gosh, how many things can I do? And
how many plates can I spin at the same time?
Exactly. I mean, many people can, but they have great teams, amazing teams. I think the hardest thing for me has been to build teams. It's the hardest thing. It's just getting the right people who are honest and loyal.
To do with trust?
I'm pretty good with trust. It's just people literally out there to just break people's businesses. It's how it is, you know. And then it's how much do you pay to get the right people. So it wasn't balancing out for me.
Finding a team is so incredibly important, isn't it? And if you don't find those right people, then it just does. The business can crumble, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now you're strong trying to do it all.
I'm strong trying to. I mean, I have a small team around me. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I've got people, and I contract out a lot now. That's what I do. I contract out an awful lot. But no, it's ultimate success that I really want to home in on. The clinic will still be there. Of course, I will probably have to get someone in to take over, but it'll be someone that I do probably a shareholder type of thing with, so that their natural passion and interest is in the business. I'm not interested in just a regular employee doing the work, unless, of course, I'm not knocking employees. Obviously, their passion's got to be there, and it's a little bit different. The type of work I do, for the medical work is a little bit different. So it's going to be someone that I mentor, train, and say, right, here you go, do your work.
So ultimate success, is that one? Did you say it's one-to-one or one-to-many?
Both. So it covers it covers success. I work with corporates. I work with individuals. I work with professionals, businesses. Businesses, so not so much now. I'm pulling away from that because I'm just covering different areas. But that's my main area.
Do you have an example of a client that you've really, really helped that you can shout about?
Okay, let's think about
Your most
confidentiality.
amazing client or the client journey?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the ones, somebody I'm speaking with at the moment, I have, you know what, the most amazing thing about it is that when I actually take pictures of them, if I'm doing Zooms, I take a picture of them as well. I screenshot. I say, we're going to look at that at the end, because the difference in the face and the energy in the feet, because you literally see it, they're glowing and they're bright. But this person I'm speaking with at the moment, it was a lot of self-sabotage. I won't say bullied, but again made to believe that they weren't who they really are, taking away all their power, making them feel weak and not liking themselves. So they've then, gained weight, no motivation. Of course, motivation isn't everything. We know discipline is needed after motivation. So working with her for only 4 weeks, she's in a different place. And if I say to her, if I show you that picture, which I'm not going to show you, there's already a change. She's already lost weight. She's motivated. She's smiling. It's the whole phase. It's just amazing. She feels more confident. She's able to tackle things in a different way. Her approach to life is different. It's just, that's one of the biggest turnarounds I think I've seen in somebody.
Amazing. Living your purpose. Doing that. Yeah. So how can people find out more about Ultimate Success?
Online, Instagram. The Instagram is Hina Solanki1. Ultimate Success, of course, the website, or my email address, hs@hinasolanki.com.
Which will all be on the show notes as well. So, Hina, thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I never thought I was intuitive or felt energy, but I realised that I really do. I feel it from you right now. And I think the older I get, the more I feel it, I suppose, are the words. So it's been just wonderful sat here with you. The first time I met you, I felt it then. So it's, there is something going on with energy for sure. I do have one more question I wanted to ask you, actually, which is, so you're a successful entrepreneur with many streams of income, lots going on, lots of plates spinning, but you're also intuitive and you're also a healer and somebody that believes in the law of attraction and manifestation. So what would you say is more important, manifesting or taking action?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Simple answer, isn't it?
Yeah, both. You've got to. There's so many people that at the moment, you just need to look at Instagram and think, oh gosh, no, it's all about, they're saying meditate, do this affirmation, switch words. I do them all. I cover them all. They're all tools to get you to where you want to be. So use these tools, take action, create. People who don't like the word manifesting, by the way, it's the same as creating, manifesting. It's the same thing. So go ahead, go and create your life, go and create your dreams and take action.
Yeah, and dream first and then take action.
That's it. Keep dreaming. Never stop dreaming.
Love that. Hina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Awesome. That was brilliant. I didn't even look at my questions. I've got all these questions and I'm like just free flow. So, yeah. Is the correct way to say, because I always say namaste, but you always say namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Namaste. I'm Indian, so namaste, Hindu. I'm raised as a Hindu.
To ask you where you were from, I couldn't quite.
Yeah,
I
namaste.
maybe
although I have
Greek.
no religion, I've got to have some water.
Yeah, do. So you're Indian. My goodness, I thought you were Greek for some reason, but I didn't want to ask.
No, it's okay.
Well.
No, most of my my parents have passed both, but my mum's side all kind of looked Italian, very olive skin, different skin and different features.
Yeah.
My father's side, like my grandmother, was really tall. They're all really tall. I'm not, but they're all really tall and broad. That's not an Indian
I've got
thing.
that in my family. So what
I
happened?
know. What happened to me? It's like, oh gosh, but they're all really tall. Mind you, I like being this now. And as you get older, you realise if you're small, you look younger.
Ah, okay, cool.
Keep slim and small, you
Yeah,
look
yeah.
younger.
Good.
But
to know.
no, they all were very light skinned, grey eyes, and just different, you know.
Yeah.
But they are Indian.
And you've ended up with brown eyes. They had grey eyes.
They had grey eyes,
Because you look Mediterranean, olive skinned.
I get everything.
Yeah.
I'm everything but Indian. I've even had Polish. I mean, I'm Polish. Do I look Polish? But yeah, fine.
No.
Yeah.
Whereabouts from India?
Gujarat.
The where? The drug?
Gujarat.
Gujarat.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, but I'm not born in India though.
No.
I was actually born in Uganda.
Yeah, we are finished. Coming in. Yeah, yeah. So we're finished. Wow. Uganda.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping to get a speaking gig there. I'm just speaking to somebody. I'm like, Uganda? I said, you do realise that would be my dream?
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I will store that in my brain, and if I ever meet anyone that I can introduce you to, I'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, okay,
Yeah.
amazing. You were a brilliant guest. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for making that massive journey over. Hi, Tutu. This is Hina.
Take the
Hina
hot seat.
Tutu.
I saw your picture.
Oh, that's right. I read thing on
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
brilliant. Well, yes, we'll do that. Thank you
take
so
care. It's
much.
nice to see you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Callum, were you okay to show him like the way around the? Because I just said goodbye to Tatiana, and then she called me. She was like, Jess, okay,
We've
so.
got, I'll take it.
Thank you. Hina, I'll be in touch.
Yeah,
all right.
see you. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Take
Enjoy.
care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
This
Bye.
beer glass is just in the
Yes, we've got another glass
Oh, great.
for the guests.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Jess, how are you?
Just-
I thought I'd look good for you.
You look really nice.
Thank
Nice
you.
as
That's
well.
Thank you.
What did you say, David?
Said she looks banging.
Thank you.
Yeah, she looks banging.
Bright blue, it's very good.
Thank you.
Before we start,
Yeah.
do you need to go to the bathroom or anything like that?
I'm okay, but if I need to give you a few minutes to set up, I can
Sorry.
pop out.
Just going to
You
get
sure?
you some water, that's all. And then
Yeah.
it's going to be between 30 and 45 minutes.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
but just want to check you're all good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. You are good.
It's lovely setup here.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, so professional, Jess. Look at you.
I got slated on LinkedIn this morning. So I put a post on there going, I've made a lot of effort with this. I've done some professional training, and I'm loving using a professional studio and getting some great content for all my clients that come in. They get loads of content to use, and then someone said, "Oi, don't downgrade us people who are doing it." I said, I'm not putting you down.
I'm just
It's like-
saying, I'm just sharing my story.
yeah, we all have a choice, right? So it's fine.
People these days.
Oh, it's fine. Everyone's allowed opinions, right? So,
Yeah.
I might just pop to the loo myself because I've just done 2 in a row. So, do you mind?
No,
Alright.
not at all.
Just in case, because I don't want to need to go like halfway through your interview. Yeah, there's all sorts to drink if you want something
Okay.
more interesting.
Now water. I'll stick to water. Thank you.
And just to let you know,
Mhm.
if you want to have a drink or something, when
Yeah.
she's talking, you
Yeah.
can drink, because what we'll do is we'll cut the cameras back and forth.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you do find that you're parched, I
Yeah.
forgot to mention it last time, and then when she got done, she's like, "Oh my god, I'm stuck. I need a drink." I was
So when
like,
she's
"Oh, yeah."
talking, have a drink.
So
Got
yeah.
you.
So if you want to do that,
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
you can do that.
You've got a lovely setup here.
Yeah, this is Callum's studio.
Wow.
So yeah, he's got a nice. These are really nice cameras as well. But yeah, it's a good little setup, and it's this is what I'm aspiring to
Okay.
for myself. But
Yeah. You're
someday.
already in it. I'm sure
someday,
you'll make it happen.
yeah, just want to have a seat.
Yeah.
Go ahead and sit down, and I'll make sure you're all.
Put this on.
Yeah, definitely put that on silent. Although, if
Yeah.
anything does happen, we can
Yeah.
always just edit it, and
Okay.
whatever if we need
Thank
to.
you.
So don't get too wound up over anything.
Okay.
Just,
Would I be able to get some shots on my phone as well? Or probably.
I can take
Is that
some
right?
pictures for you if
Please.
you want, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Just like Jess, I'm a content creator as well.
Right, is that where you're going to sit, or do you
Oh.
want to get settled? Can you maybe move a little bit to the?
I'll give you that so I
To the
can
right?
sit one pace.
Yeah.
right.
So is that where you want to be?
I'm happy, but will that
Maybe
work?
Scoot up a little bit.
Scoot up
and-
a bit.
yeah, just because you'll want to be a little bit closer.
Okay.
So, that looks pretty good. Just,
Cross my leg.
that's it.
Yeah. This is my water, yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks.
And that's yeah, it's a first class.
Thank you. Love it. Thank you. Oh, because it's Instagram. It's
Oh, you
better
want a
this
vertical
way,
one?
and then
Alright,
short videos, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then pictures. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm asking for a lot.
Well, I'm going to move over in a sec. I might take a few shots.
Yeah.
Some pictures.
Thank you.
I'll slightly
As long as I look size 0.
give you that.
It's lovely setup here. Beautiful. God.
Yeah, I think it looks all right.
Is that hay fever medication? Oh God, yeah. My daughter's suffering it at the moment. Biconase, do you use that one? Apparently it's really good.
Pump.
Oh, okay, pump. Yeah. It works?
It does.
Okay,
It
good.
does.
Good.
So I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
Oh God.
And that just brings me back to life.
Yeah, okay, good. Good.
I'll come back just to double check. Yeah?
Okay.
All right, we're all good. It's going to take a couple of pictures.
Oh yeah, did you take any of it
I
here?
did,
or not?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant! I forgot
Yeah.
that.
I did. I've already put them in the thing for Grania. She
Oh,
wants
brilliant.
them.
For Grania.
Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't know if she wanted to pick them up or not because she commented on one.
Okay.
Because I
Cool.
posted one on my LinkedIn earlier just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
hey, we're back in the studio.
Yeah.
Tagged you in, so yeah, it's all good. I've got some.
Thank you.
Oh, you wanted some vertical ones, didn't you?
Yeah, that way would be good.
Instagram.
So,
Yeah,
sausages.
that's good. I'll do some that way too. Cool.
Thank you. Cool. Right, Tutu, have you done a podcast before?
I have.
Cool. How did it go?
I'm sure it went well. I've
Yeah.
done a couple.
We're not rolling, by the way. Yet.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a couple and they went well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere you don't want me to go?
No.
No, all
No.
good. All right, great.
No.
Cool.
just
Where have
give
you
me one
gone? Okay. All right, good stuff. How long
Yeah.
did it take you to get here?
An hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. For
No.
the journey. I really
My
appreciate it.
absolute pleasure inviting me, and it's great stuff you're doing here.
Yeah, I love it. What with the other podcast? Was it what sort of podcast was it? Was
It
it just
was-
audio only or
So
filmed or-
I'll do the most recent one. It was just about business, your life, just story of your life. And
Yeah.
then I did. Yeah, it's always been about business, how you started and
But
stuff
was
like
it
that.
audio only or was it filmed?
Last one was filmed and audio.
Yeah.
I've done one in the past before as well. That was audio. It was
Yeah.
on Spotify.
But you know, with the film, then
Mhm.
you'll get lots of bits of content that you can
That's
chop up and use
great.
as your own
Thank
content.
you.
Then, so
yeah. Where
so-
do you host this? Where do you publish it?
Well, I'm just about
Yeah.
to launch, so
Okay,
it's going
yeah.
to be on Apple. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And then lots of shorter clips
Yeah,
on
yeah.
TikTok and Instagram.
Love
Facebook,
it. I know you do the networking, but what really inspired you towards podcast?
Well, I love finding out what make people tick. And what I really wanted to do is to interview successful people to inspire others. So I love to get people together to form connections, usually in beautiful spaces, and then I love to see people grow from it. So this is kind of like another avenue of doing that, really.
Love it. Yeah.
And I thought I was just going to do it myself, but I thought, no, I really want to do it properly. So I went and did a course in it, and then, you know, since then, that was back in March. Actually, the course was back in February. So, and right now we're just ready to launch now. I've done enough interviews.
Love it.
To be able to launch.
Love it.
Yeah. So
well done.
I know lots and lots of people are doing podcasts these days, and that's really cool, I think. So yeah,
But then we have our own Jess doing it. So
yeah, but no, I just, you know, I listen to a fair few myself, and I don't know. I just really I like talking to people.
That's good.
I like the one-to-one thing as well. 'Cause when I'm doing my events, I've got so many sort of.
So you don't get around to
can't have that one-to-one deep chat.
And it's your event as well, so
yeah, exactly.
everyone's gonna want to talk to you.
So this gives me a chance to like sit down and talk properly.
I need to come to your next event though.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I need to get out of the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mics are on.
All right. Okay. All right.
Just do this.
Have to do
Are
that.
you happy? Everything is.
She loves to clap.
Yeah,
I do. He keeps telling me, you don't need to clap, Jess.
All the time.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm a happy clapper.
You have your hot drink as well, right?
You've got a hot drink.
Hard drive.
Oh, I thought you said you got a hot drink.
No.
I was like, what? I don't see a hot drink. Okay, got it. Thank you, Callum. Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, beautiful. Are you happy for me to start, Mr. Producer? Not yet.
Producer.
Have I introduced you, David?
You said David when I
Tutu.
came in, yeah. And
Good.
I've been talking and he's got my phone.
Now you're not going anywhere.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
It's all good.
All right, beautiful.
God,
Crack on whenever you're ready.
Okay. Tutu, thank you so much for coming on to the Networking Spark podcast.
Oh my God. Thank you, Jess, for having me.
Oh, bless you. I really appreciate the journey that you've taken to get here, and I'm really excited to talk to you. So on this podcast, I tend to delve into 4 different categories, and some people are in one, some people are in a couple. So if I just go through them.
Okay.
There's only 4, by the way.
Shoot.
So the first one is, right, I really like to find inspirational people that are really doing their thing and living their life. So obviously I asked you on. So one of the categories is entrepreneurs with multiple streams of income, or just doing what they love and serving their passion. The second one is success after failure, because I believe we are forged in the fire. And you come across some people that say, no, I've never made any mistakes, but you know, I believe that, you know, there's so much learning through that. So success after failure, networking, obviously, and all the doors that it can open, and millionaires. So out of those 4 categories, which ones do you fit?
That's interesting. So I'll say all 4.
Wow.
But when you say the third one, I would say coming from the business perspective, yeah. But I'd say all 4.
Brilliant. So Tutu, tell us a little bit about you then. You are a mum, an entrepreneur. Tell us about your journey.
So I'll start from coming here as a teenager. So when I say here, to England as a teenager, and coming to do my college here 20 years ago, and then from there went off and.
When you say coming here, where from?
Oh, okay. So I was born in Nigeria. And that's
not
where
Scotland.
not Scotland, not Ireland.
Okay, wow,
So
that's a journey.
yeah, and so I spent the most of my formative years in Nigeria. Finished my secondary education, then came over to England did my college, then went and got my first degree, then got my master's. My first degree was in software engineering. I practiced in IT for a couple of years, but it really wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy just sitting down coding in front of computers. So I got myself back into university and went and trained to be a teacher. And I qualified as a maths teacher about 13 years ago. Worked in mainstream education, worked in several secondary schools over a decade. And before I trained as a teacher before I had my daughter. So I had my daughter, and then when she got to about 3 years of age, she was really ill. I wasn't able to commit to work as I used to, and I absolutely loved what I do. I love teaching. I love working with young people. So I was having absences. I was being not late to work, but not being at work because I have hospital appointments for my daughter or clinic. And I was tutoring on the side. So I made the really hard decision to leave full-time work to be able to look after my daughter, to have a bit more flexibility. But I knew I still wanted to continue to teach. It's just that I wouldn't be able to continue to do it the way I knew how to do it. So I remember then the head teacher of the school that I was working in was trying to convince me not to leave. And he was saying, oh, so what are you going to do when you leave? I said, I'm going to see if I can do tutoring on the side. And he said, yeah, but what if, it's not always going to be consistent? How are you going to survive? How are you going to cope? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm just going to, this is what I think I need to do right now, and I'm just going to do it. So I went and started tutoring, and at one point I was going from house to house, and I had about 20 different houses I was going to every week to tutor kids. And I'll have my daughter with me. I'll have an iPad so she can watch, and I'll say to the parents, you don't mind her sitting in a corner? She's normally very good whilst I teach your children, and the majority of them had no problems with that. So when I got to about the 20 mark of houses, I decided to get a small office space and asked all the 20 parents to say, it's getting really difficult for me navigating different houses every week. Would you mind bringing your child to my little office in Chatham, in Kent? And 18 out of those 20 people said, yeah, we don't mind. Brilliant. We'll bring our children to you. And that's where my tutoring journey started. And I started to use that to provide for my family, and started to go, well, this is something that I enjoy, but I'm also making money out of it.
It sounds like you were able to be a mum at the same time. Correct. As build your business. Did you have much of a support structure there at home?
No, because when I registered my tutoring company, shortly after that I had a divorce. I went through a divorce, and it was difficult, but was
it your decision?
It was the right decision to do at the time. So it was just me and my daughter, but I knew that I had a strong why. The why was always back. It always went back to my daughter. Anytime I faced a big challenge, I'm doing this for my daughter so that I can provide for her, and I can still be flexible. And if I need to take her for hospital appointments, I can do, and I can be there for her, but still provide for her. So that's what kept me going for a long time. So I would say I fell into business by accident.
Do you think it made you become more driven, being a single mum?
Absolutely, because there's no other choice, as a single mom, you're the everything for your child. So what else would you do? So it's always, the challenge comes along. How do we fix this, rather than, let's just give up?
I just think it's totally inspiring, though, because it's, you make a choice. You could be a victim and go, life is hard. Or you can make that choice to say, no, I'm going to fight and I'm going to do this. And that's obviously what you've done. And you're now extremely successful, which is super inspiring. If someone's listening and they are going through something similar, as in they are having to do everything, because when you're an entrepreneur and you're building your own business, it's half hard, particularly in the early years, right? And then if you're trying to juggle being a parent as well, How do you do that?
Because I think everyone's journey is going to be different, so it's really hard to give it advice. But I would say for anyone going through that kind of thing, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Look around you and what do you see, and spend a lot of time brainstorming, thinking. I have a very small circle, so find that small circle and see where you can just talk to people. It's not necessarily because you want them to advise you, but you talking out would sometimes give you the solution that you need. So look beyond what you have in front of you. And for me, one of the things that kept me going during the difficult time was having something that I'm passionate about, that I really enjoyed, and I just threw myself into it. And you can't go wrong with that. You know, you love something, you go in for it, and it's going to then bring several different opportunities and avenues to thrive and to do well. So I think that would be, if I was to say that to anyone, it would be find something you really enjoy. And you wouldn't find what you really enjoy until you explore. That's the other thing as well. Because sometimes you don't know what you enjoy, or you don't think you would enjoy that. So I did dip my hands into a few things before I found wow, this, you know, even if I'm dying and someone said, come and teach, I would spring back to life, you know.
And it sounds like you've got a logical numbers brain, but you've also got this amazing connection with people, because you were going from, you know, your IT stuff, which would suit a lot of people. But when you've got this kind of passion and purpose to want to connect with others and see them grow and help them, then you don't often get those two things coming together. And something my son said to me recently, came home from school, and he said, Mum, if only my English teacher could be my maths teacher, then everything would be great. Because often with maths teachers, they don't have that connection or the people skills, whereas you blatantly do. So I think, would you say that's helped you to become successful?
I don't know. But I see what you're saying. But I just love working with young people, especially helping to build their confidence. Yes, maths is a subject that I teach, but I think it's only an avenue to get to know those children. And then once I get to know them, to be that sort of positive voice that they hear, or if that's going to be the only positive voice that they hear. So I just love working with people and seeing them transform. And I start with maths and I go, see, you can do it. And then it transforms to other aspects of their life, you know, and their confidence. That's the key. So I like working on young people's confidence.
And it sounds like you bring creativity into maths.
I try.
Tell us how you do that.
So when I qualified as a teacher, the first class I had absolutely hated maths. They didn't like it. They didn't enjoy it. They've had negative experience with maths. So I'm thinking they didn't want to learn. They didn't want to hear what you had to say. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do?
Because your brain shuts. Well, mine certainly did when I was at school.
Yeah.
Your brain can shut down.
It just shuts
if you're not
down.
built that way.
It's just shut down.
Yeah.
So I had to find creative ways of teaching the subject. I had to dance. I had to come up with jokes. And then I noticed with my students, like I can barely crack jokes, but when I do crack in front of my students, they laugh so hard. And I start to think, who are they laughing? What are they laughing about? Is it actually what I said?
Yeah.
So kids love my joke. I don't know how they find them funny. So I found humor. Okay, I'm going to put a lot of that into my lessons. And then started finding creative ways of teaching the maths topic. So it could be songs, it could be a rhyme, it could be a rap. I look like a fool in front of them, but they absolutely enjoyed it. And these things were starting to stick.
Yeah.
They started to remember the methods, and they started to enjoy their maths classes, and they would turn around and go, is that the end of the lesson? Oh no, we want it to continue. Yeah. And so I saw that, okay, I can help these kids. Maths is not as bad as you think it is. And I remember I was given one class, and this class, it was a very low bottom set, and everyone in that class was predicted to fail. And this is what sometimes I say to parents, yet there are kids predicted to fail. So everyone was predicted to fail. And in that same class, majority of the kids were they had complex behavioral problems, so nobody wants to teach them. There's always something with that class. So they gave me that class saying, oh, I'm sure Miss will be able to manage it. And the first thing I said when they came in is, you know, your goal, your new goal is this, because they all knew what their target was, which is to fail. So I said to them, the minimum anyone's going to get out of this class is a C grade. And you needed to see how they were kicking against that and going, no, miss, no, I'm predicted to get a G. I'm predicted to get an F. How do you expect me to get a C? And I kept repeating the same thing every single day. No, we're going to get a C. You're going to change your target grade in front of your book. We're all going to get a C in this class. We're going to put our effort in. And then I'm infusing the humor, the creativity, the dancing, the jumping around like headless chicken. And at the end of the year, 76% of these kids got their C grade and above. And I was like, wow, thank you.
Brilliant. It's so important with kids, isn't it, to make to get them to find something fun. When they find it fun, then you've got them. You've got their attention.
That's it.
And then, you know, and then you can rewire the brain in a way, as in, but, you know, these kids you're talking about, they were set up to fail because they were told that, and therefore it just got lodged in, you know, in. But by you repeating that all the time, like, amazing. What sort of ways can you reflect that into your own life? So you are on this path of success. You've become extremely successful. What are your daily sort of habits, and you know, what do you do to keep going?
One of the things that I do, and I've regressed slightly recently, but I'm getting back because I've set myself a target, is exercise. Exercising really helps me. Not just for weight loss, you know, it's the brain health, the mental health.
And have you regressed because of time, because it's hard to fit it in?
But I could call that an excuse. I did get very, very busy, and so I've given myself a bit of leeway and say, oh, fair enough, you had a few things that you had to do, but now is an excuse. I need to get back into it, and I will, because it does really help productivity. It gives clarity. So exercise is one of the things that I really love to do. I also like to read. So you give me any recommendation, I would buy those books. And so I love reading. My day-to-day at the moment involves lots and lots of meetings, working with people, delegating, following up, and that's what I do. And part of what I also do, working with a lot of people in my team, is making sure, although it can be very difficult, but I just don't want people working with me to feel like they're working in a toxic environment. So that's part of what I strive, you know, to make people feel good about what they do, and trying to also find out where people's strengths lie. So they might not be excelling in a particular area, and that's probably because they don't enjoy it. And just like I didn't enjoy IT, and then working with them and knowing what they really thrive well in, and then navigating them towards that place to shine.
Awesome.
I don't teach as many lessons as I used to.
Talking of which, you said you fit into all 4 categories.
Yeah.
So what is it like being a millionaire?
So I wouldn't say I do fit in, but I wouldn't say I'm a millionaire, but our company hit 7 figures. So I could say Technis hit 7 figures.
Your net worth.
Yes. So it's amazing to be able to hit that target, coming from someone who was going from house to house to tutor kids, not even really thinking about the kind of success is going to be built on it. It was just like, I just want to survive. I just want to be able to put food on the table for my child. I just want to have a warm home to go to actually hitting those kind of figures. It really did blow my mind. And it then opened a lot of doors, a lot of possibilities, and say, if we can do this, then we can do anything, and then we can achieve anything. And that's what I teach the students I work with anyway, which is the growth mindset. You can do anything. If you put your mind to it, you can achieve anything. There's no limits. You know, if you enjoy it and you put effort into it, it's only a matter of time. You're going to be fantastic at what you do.
And you can achieve it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, so that's what I hold on to.
Amazing. Do you think that money makes you happy?
No.
That was a very strong no.
No. 100% no.
Okay, why not?
Money's a tool. Yes, it can get things done, but it doesn't necessarily bring happiness. Happiness is a choice. It's something that you decide, because you can have all this money and still not be content. You can have all this money and still go, there's something still missing. So money is a great tool. Yes, it can be reinvested. It can be used to achieve things, maybe things that would normally have taken you longer to be able to get it. But it doesn't bring happiness. It doesn't bring joy.
Happiness comes from within.
It comes from within, and it comes from choosing to be happy, choosing to do stuff that make you happy, choosing to also be...
But when you say you could use money to do stuff to make you happy, so it has got a little bit of involvement then.
So money isn't bad, you know, I'm not going to... Money is great, but to think, when I have money, I'm going to be happy. When I have money, I'm going to do this. No, do it now.
Yeah.
You know, when I have money, I'll be able to relax a bit. No. Find ways in little... I remember, like, with my daughter at the time, when I could barely afford to buy a McDonald's Happy Meal, you know, but we were still looking for things that was affordable for us in our own way to make us happy, to make us enjoy. So I don't necessarily believe in people waiting until they get to a certain point before they then enjoy certain things.
Agree.
Because when you do get there, you feel nothing sometimes.
But what does it mean now for your daughter? What sort of experiences is she having now? So you've gone from not being able to afford McDonald's to what?
To being able to afford what she wants, what she needs. So it's now being, as a parent, being able to go, right, that's a want, not really a need. Should I really be... letting you have that, or should I withdraw? Just trying to also understand, get her to understand being grateful, and being happy with what you have, and also being content, because then there's the, kids, they want to follow the trend. There's something new coming up. You don't necessarily have to have that. But it feels really great that, I can provide for her. I can send her on school trips that I probably wouldn't have been able to afford before. It just feels great to know that, I can do those things.
And also amazing that she's been on this journey with you.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much she remembers from when you weren't able to afford things. But for her to see mum, work really, really hard, or not, and just use your creativity and your entrepreneurship to create something. Going from one place to the other. So let's talk about success after failure. What would you say your most painful experience has been, or has there been anything in life that's felt like a big failure and then you've built up after that?
So we started Technics Academy in 2017. So I say we, like I started it. So again, I started having people joining me. And then we had 4 centres in Kent. We had one in Chatham, one in Sittingbourne, Ashford and Gravesend. And across those 4 centres, we had 120 students. And I would go from one centre to the other just to make sure everything's ticking how it should. And it was bringing in something decent. I was providing for my family, me and my daughter. I was happy. And then COVID hit. And and I had to close all those centres. And at that same time was when I was going through the divorce, and I had just also left my full-time work. I'd left my full-time work before, but I remember them asking me to come back to do supply. And they said, even though supply is normally agency, we'll have you back for as a full supply person. And I also let that go because I thought it's just becoming really hard to combine that with Technis Academy. So it all happened in 1 month, like literally March 2020. I felt like I hit the rock bottom.
Everything happened at the same time.
There was no income anymore, not from an employer, not from my business. Business is shut down. I'm now a single mom with a little girl and nothing. And we're meant to stay indoors, not talk to anyone, not go out. And so I went to 0 students, and I remember going, that can't just be it. I'm sure there's still something that I can do. And, sat down thinking several times. And then I sent an email out to all the 120 parents to say, I've thought about going online, during this pandemic, and I would be more than happy to teach your kids. And out of those 120 students, 2 of them came back. I remember that lesson vividly. 2 came back online.
Is that all?
That's
Seriously?
all. 2 students. I remember those 2 students came back online. Those were the 2 parents that said, yeah, we're very much. And I thought, ooh.
That's crazy. So what were the other 118 doing then?
I think a lot of people went, they weren't familiar with learning online at the time. And if anything, people, I think, were more focused to staying alive during that pandemic than sending their child for tutoring. Not to forget that school was probably having some arrangements also. So tutoring was the last thing on the mind of many people at the time. And so I thought, okay. So I was scrolling through Facebook on one of those days, and I saw this guy selling a course. So like you said, you went for a course for your podcast. So I thought, and he was saying he can help teachers to how they can put themselves in front of their audience. And I just jumped at the course. He had a meeting with me and he said, I'm going to charge 1,500. I said, I don't have that. Where am I going to get that from? He said, well, I can maybe split it into installments for you. I said, split it into 3 installments. I said, I still can't afford it. He ended up splitting it into 6 installments after many begging. And I started a course, and he said, I'm going to use you and a few other people as a case study because it's the first time I'm running the course. And I remember one of my direct debits failing for the installments as well because I just didn't have enough money. But I went into that course with everything that I had. Every single assignment he gave, I learned it. I did everything. I turned up for every meeting. And the first time we launched our ads, because we all had to launch our ads, I enrolled 22 students in one day. And so that's how we built the online tutoring from 2 students to 2,000 students.
Wow.
And yeah.
Amazing. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah, so that was an amazing moment. How did you celebrate?
That's the thing. I think all of this is a journey. I think there's never been a point where you go and go, yes, we've done it. When we did hit the 7 figures, I did feel that, whoa, yeah, wow, we've done this. But I don't think there's much time to reflect too much. You just keep going, and I absolutely enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how busy are you? Like, what's your daily work day look like at the moment? So you've built up a team now, which is amazing, and sometimes building the team is like the major point to know whether you're going to be successful or not. But what's your day-to-day life look like?
So day-to-day is meetings.
Yeah.
Day-to-day is just meetings, talking to professionals who are fantastic at what they do. So we have HR lead, who manage the people. I have a marketing team. I have the teachers themselves. I have vice principals that work with me, have meetings with them. We have our front desk team who do more of the operational side. They deal with the parents and the students day in, day out. We'll have meetings, So all of these people are my go-to people, and I speak to them on a daily basis.
Incredible. Can you talk us through building a team? Because I've spoken to other people that have not been successful in building a team. And I think it's a really important thing. So how did it work with you? Who was the first person you took on? And then how did it grow from there?
So the first person I took on was an old colleague who we were teaching at school together, and I just said, "Can you help me out? Because I'm starting to teach. I'm teaching from when kids break up from school, from 4 o'clock till 9 p.m. at night. I can't do it all on my own." And he came and joined me, and I think the advice I would give to people looking to build teams is to start as early as possible. You know, if you're going to build something tangible and successful, you can't do it on your own. And so most times what most people worry about is, how am I going to pay them? I barely have enough for myself than paying. Start where you can, maybe start with, I can only offer you 2 hours at the moment, and then build from there. But the more people you get on board and the earlier you get them on board, the quicker. And so that's how I built my team every time I realized. But in hindsight, I would have even done it even earlier. I wouldn't wait until I'm spilling over, really busy, struggling to cope. I would do it well in advance.
And how do you go about finding someone in HR or someone in marketing? Did you use an agency? What did you do?
So it does change. When I first started out, I wasn't using an agency. I was literally just calling people up and saying, or seeing people do stuff, and I go, "I see you do an HR thing consultation. Can you do it with me?" Now, we use agencies. Now we're on LinkedIn. Now we're on Indeed. Now we'll post vacancies on social media for people to apply. We have tons and tons of CVs in our inboxes. And the other thing we've also tried to do is overhire, because we've learned from experiences.
Does that not cost you a lot of money, overhiring?
It will cost money, but if you see it as investment, you're investing back into your business.
As long as you're growing.
You're growing, and it's also giving us a chance to put a good firm structure in place, so that when we do scale, we're ready for it.
When we scale. All this positive stuff that you put in the children's brain, you put in your brain as well.
Because it did happen, I said to you, the first time I opened the ads up, we recruited 22 students. So when we grew very quickly into 2,000 students, we weren't ready for it. So there's, most business people would want to grow and would want to scale. But sometimes my question is, are you actually ready for that scale? Because if you're not ready and you scale, it's disaster. So we grew very quickly, and we're barely, surviving. And so we had a moment where, we were able to pause and go, right, come on, let's put a good structure in place. Let's reorganize. Let's do what we need to do, so that when that pressure comes, we're ready for it. And so that's where the overhiring comes. So one person never feels like they're too overwhelmed. There's always somebody else to step in. There's more than one person who knows what one person is doing.
Sounds like you've got a happy team.
We're working towards it.
There's a big pause that said
I can't sit here and go, I've got a happy team. I think you should be talking to them rather than me to find out if they're happy. And we do regular, feedback to check in, but you can never be 100% with those things, but we're definitely work in progress with that.
Your daughter must be super proud of you, though.
She says that sometimes.
Nice to hear that, though. When you were a little girl, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I remember wanting to be a journalist for whatever reason. That is the one, because I didn't even think of being a teacher, even though my dad was a teacher. So he was a lecturer, but it never occurred to me. But I remember also being that person in my classroom who would break things down for people who don't understand. And that wasn't because I was particularly bright myself.
I bet you were.
No, I wasn't. And my students are shocked when I say to them, I got a C in maths, because they think I must have got an A or an A star in maths. Yeah. So I found that in school, and I didn't think I was good enough at school. Okay. But over the years, I've now understood, I process things differently, and I'm very slow at processing stuff. And then I just thought then that I was dumb, but
almost
now
verging on dyslexia.
Could be. I remember saying that recently. Could be, but it just takes me a while to process information. I would need a bit of repetition. But once I get it, you can't take it away from me.
I bet that's what makes you an incredible teacher, because you have that understanding, whereas often you'll have maths teacher who are like, well, it's just that, these are the rules, that's it, just get it.
Yeah.
Whereas because you've had to go through this process, and you know that for you personally it takes a while for things to soak in, you're then able to pass that on to other kids, which I think is brilliant.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years time? Have you got any dreams still, or are you I know you are happy where you are now because that's how you live, but if you're thinking about dreams, aspirations, goals, what would those be?
5 to 10 years from now, I would have wanted to explore everything that God has laid on my mind to do. Because I can't sit still. Like, I know you are very similar because you're a woman of many hats. I can't sit still. I've got my hands in different stuff. I'm like, that's a good idea. Why don't we do it? And it's not always good ideas. So aside the tutoring, we provide childcare services for kids. We work with schools. I've also gone and dipped my hands into the transportation side of the business, where that's going to go. So I feel like if there's a problem, if I see there's a problem and I have some form of interest in that area, I would explore. So 5 to 10 years from now, I want to be able to have explored everything that God has laid on my heart to do and explore them. Some of them would be successful, and some of them might not be as successful, but you still learn from it. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the ones that I've created to be able to run by itself, because I've got fantastic people in my team who just do what they need to do, and they do it so well.
Because you've got those systems up and running, which is really important when
Correct.
building a business.
Correct.
Yeah. So are you deeply religious? Would you call yourself religious, spiritual? What would you say?
I'm a Christian. I believe there's a God. I believe when things get overwhelming, there's someone there to reach out to.
Do you feel a guidance sometimes?
I do. And I listen. I feel like my gut instinct is God's voice for me, and I listen carefully to it. So that's
Some
where I
people
am.
call it intuition.
Some people call it intuition.
Yeah, there's all sorts of words for it, but it's important to listen and to check in.
100%.
Do you do that daily, often?
Daily. I used to have a notepad where I write everything, but it always gets lost. So when something comes to my mind, I put it on my notepad on my phone. I write it down. Write everything down, because then you never know. Yeah.
Okay. So a quick fire round of questions. Your toughest, most painful thing you've been through?
Toughest bit I would say is forgiving myself for staying too long in a relationship that didn't work for me. I just stayed way too long, and I forgave the other person before I forgave myself.
Wow.
I was really hard on myself for a long time, and I think I hit depression without even knowing I'd hit depression. But one of the things that got me out was my work. Every time I got in front of those kids, I just forgot everything. And then I come out and I'm thinking, oh, I'm back here again. So that was the toughest time. That was the darkest time for me, forgiving myself and just letting myself heal and know that, it's okay.
And what was the moment that you forgave yourself? Was it a moment, or is it a gradual thing?
I think it was a gradual thing. I think it was a very gradual process.
Because maybe you stayed because you thought it was the right thing for your daughter. So maybe there was a reason, I don't know. But then you really realise that it really wasn't, and you made that move eventually. But it's a tough thing to step out.
It's hard. And especially from my culture, you know, you coming out of a marriage can be deemed as a huge failure, because it's mostly the woman who builds the home. So if that breakdown then happens, then you're seen as a complete failure. And yeah, that was tough. And so being able to go, yeah, don't care what anybody else thinks, you know, it's fine. Or even if they think so, that's entirely up to them, you know, and this is for me, and I'm being at peace with my decision. It did take a while, but I'm glad that when I did then make that decision, there was no, I was settled. I felt free. I felt it was the right time. I felt I'd done everything I could possibly. There was no, oh, should I haven't? None of that.
Best moment?
Best moment is always, I don't think there's one fixed best moment. My best moments is when I'm able to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and how I want to do it without anyone's approval.
And that's what success brings, freedom.
Depends on you, because I know some people who are very successful, but they're not free.
And they've paid a price for it. There is a price sometimes with success.
So it's so it depends on the individual, how they want to build. And again, it depends on what you define success as. Some people define success as plenty money. Some people define success as being happy. Some people define success as being free. So my definition of success is freedom and impact.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. What annoys you or makes you feel sad?
It's just not being around people you can't trust. That's really hard for me. I just want to be able to trust people. So if you're around me and I can't really trust, it becomes really difficult for me.
Yeah, agree.
And what makes me sad is when I see young people who just don't think life is worth it, or they're not confident, or so it's always I want to jump out and help.
Yeah, love that. What makes you happy? I'd imagine it's the same thing.
What makes me happy? What makes me happy is knowing that I have impact. The work that I'm doing is impactful. Yeah. Someone is benefiting from it. I published my most recent book that I published. It says the name of it is A Mom's Success Story. I remember someone saying, "Oh God, this is awesome. This book is going to do so well," you know. And I said, I haven't actually thought about that. I said, I'm thinking if my story helps just 2 people, I'm done.
Yeah,
like
amazing.
I'm sorted.
How long did it take you to write that?
Took about over a year.
Yeah.
And that's just me in between flights, writing in my note on my phone, just writing, putting things down. Yeah.
It takes quite a lot of dedication to write a book.
It does.
Yeah. Would you write another one? I mean, you've written multiple books, right? But
my first 5 books were for kids. They were maths books for kids. So I don't know if that would count. But the most recent one, it's an actual book for mums who want to go in. It's really catered for mums looking for multiple streams of income, and specifically for single mums, because one big factor for single mums, one common factor is finance, you know. Single moms, we're always short of finance. You know, we always need that extra income. And so, yeah, that's what the book is about.
So if you can sum up some of the top tips from your book, what would they be?
One of it is building your own tribe, like literally finding your own people, and it can be a small circle where you can build your own support system, however small it is. Number 2 is exploring different avenues and then finding which one works, and then just zoom down into it and put everything into what you have. And the other one is, if you need something, you've got to go for it, you know. So you need to wake up really early and get grinding and do what you need to do.
Love it.
To be
The
able
early
to get,
bird
yeah,
catches the worm.
absolutely.
What time do you wake up?
My alarm is 4:30, but it used to be 3:30.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. What time do you go to bed?
So because I wake up really early, it's
Yeah.
really hard to catch me late. So
Yeah.
I'm in bed same time as my daughter.
Yeah.
So 8:00, 8:30. Someone called me last night around 9,
Yeah.
but I was already asleep. So
Okay.
yeah.
Amazing. 3:30. Yeah. So I know another entrepreneur that wakes up at that time, sometimes earlier. I'm a 4 or a 5 o'clock girl, but
Good.
yeah.
By 7:00, I'm done for the day. And then anything after 7 is reactive. You know, I'm reacting to stuff happening around me. But the actual work done before 7.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. Yeah. So Tutu, you're truly inspirational. I'm sure you've inspired lots of people by talking about how you've made your way to where you are today. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else you'd like to share before you go?
I'll just say you are truly as inspirational. So thank you so much for having me. Keep doing what you're doing. I can see the passion. I can see the joy. And I absolutely love people who are happy at what they do. Even if it's cleaning that you're doing, just be happy at it. Just do what makes you tick, what makes you happy.
What a lovely way to end that. What a lovely piece of advice. Thank you from my heart. Brilliant.
Thank you.
I love to clap. Thanks, Tutu. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Were you happy with that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Well done.
Brilliant. So we've got all your show notes and your photo, which
Yeah.
is great. So
Thank you.
awesome. So it won't be like super quick now
No,
because we've
I
got a few to
understand.
kind of do, but we'll get the bits and bobs over to you as we go.
Podcast I did in March.
Yeah.
It's not coming out until July. The last one that I did.
I mean, I'm the same. I started recording in March.
Yeah.
And I'm not launching
Yeah,
now
yeah,
until
yeah,
July.
yeah.
But because you're one of the last of the 10,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
should be a bit quicker than that.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good.
Oh,
So-
thank you, Jess.
Thank you, darling.
David.
So I'll take you down.
Yes, thank you. I'll take my phone, David. Thank you.
Great. And can you grab my phone, David, actually, just in case I get locked in or something? And then we've got about 10 minutes to record all the intros. Cool.
Hallelujah. We are finished. I think I need to lie down. Yeah. Oh, look at the calves. Oh. Yeah. The calves are looking strong.
They're my best body part by
Yeah.
far.
100. Okay.
I think it's because I grew up riding BMX bicycles.
Yeah.
And developed some calves somehow.
It looks good.
She wants to do about another 10 minutes. She's got some intros to record
Okay, cool.
if we can. So she's going to come right back and then we'll do those quickly.
Cool. Let me rest.
But yeah, we won't need anything.
You got your hard drive at hand?
I do.
You got the SanDisk now.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, do you have your laptop?
Huh?
Do you have your laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah? You might as well put it on your laptop, so at least you can see it.
this one here that's got plenty of space on it as well.
Okay, she's back. She's back. So you can just continue the recordings basically,
Yeah. Okay.
and then afterwards.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
So this has stopped charging.
Has it died? I've got them on mine.
You got what's on yours? Oh, well, oh great.
I've got the PDF. You
Yeah.
sent it to me.
Good point. I'll put this away then. Got 10 minutes just to do some intros.
Cool.
Because I tried just before Hina came, and they just kept going wrong. And rather than read, do you know what, David? Rather than reading them, I'm just going to ad-lib them. I'm far better
Yeah.
when I don't feel like I've got something to read.
Yeah.
I think I'll just do that.
Well, I was thinking what you could do is read it
Yeah.
to give you an idea of what you wanted to say.
Going wrong, 'cause then
All
it's
right,
like,
then you're
it's all
trying to
jumping
just
in my
say it.
mind,
All
so
right.
yeah, I think I'll
Yeah.
just do it like this.
Yeah,
That's
well,
okay.
I agree.
Let's
I
sit
think
down.
that's probably the best.
Feeling tired.
Are you?
Yeah, so we just sit down.
Why are you
just
feeling so
relax.
tired?
I
What
think
have you been doing?
It's the hay fever.
Oh
So I suffer from it very, very bad. So
Yeah,
it's
so
just
you feel like your
dripping
face
energy.
is
Yeah.
exploding.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I took
Oh,
the
bless.
spray and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go and
yeah,
sit down. We'll
sit
just be
down.
10 minutes. Thank you. Okay.
Record.
Should I do a general one? I shouldn't really do a general one, should I? No. Okay. Welcome to the Networking Spark podcast. In this episode today, I'm going to be interviewing Kieran Kevin. So he's a fantastic social media strategist, but he's also going to take us through his journey from being an international fitness fanatic, but also a world champion in men's physique, to getting injured and wondering whether he's ever going to walk again. So we're going to dive deep into his journey. It's a story you don't want to miss. We have a laugh. I take the mickey out of him a little bit as well, but that's in my nature. It's just a dry sense of humour. So thank you so much for listening. I'm going to do that again.
That was fun.
It was all right. And do one more.
Okay.
So welcome, a huge warm welcome to the networking. I thought you were doing something at me then. Sorry. Right, okay. So welcome, a huge warm welcome to the Networking Spark podcast. In this next episode, I'm going to be interviewing Kieran Kevin, where I have a little bit of fun. No.
The first one was the best. It was totally fine.
All right. I just thought I rambled on a bit at the end.
No, that's fine. No,
Okay.
that's good. So do the next one. So do what do you want to do?
Just
Vinny
get
next?
it done. Welcome back to the Networking Spark. In this episode, I interview Vinnie Jones. I mean Vinnie Barnes, but he was named after Vinnie Jones, apparently, who is an entrepreneur with multiple streams of income. And at just age 27, he seems to be doing something right. So have a listen and let's find out. Down. Hello, welcome back to the Networking Spark. It's awesome to have you here. Today, we are going to be interviewing Dale Shepherd, who has left the corporate world to do his own thing, to start his own business. So listen to his inspiring story, and we dive really deep into his life, and we get a little bit emotional. So come and listen, and let's get started. Okay. Welcome back to the Networking Spark. Today we're going to be Welcome back to the Networking Spark. Today we're going to be interviewing Tracy Taylor, aka Menno Money. So Tracy combines her knowledge of finance and the menopause and puts them two together, which makes her niche really, really different to others. So let's dive deep and interview her and just see what she has to offer. Welcome to another episode of the Networking Spark. Today, I'm going to be interviewing a millionaire, Lee, who is not just... Okay, what's his surname? Lee Anthony. I've got it on my phone.
You have Lee and then you have Anthony Smith.
Lee Smith. Oh, it's a bit of a boring name, isn't it?
Is it Lee?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it Lee and Anthony Smith?
Because he's
Oh, is that his middle? or
Lee
does he
Anthony.
go
I
by
don't
Lee?
know.
Okay.
Let me see what he's on LinkedIn quickly.
This is what you say in your intro that you wrote down.
That's what he wrote for his show notes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Lee. I think it is. Yeah, Lee Anthony Smith.
Lee Anthony. Okay.
Welcome back to the Networking Spark. In this episode, I'm going to be interviewing a millionaire. Lee Anthony Smith is a really, really wonderful person. He's gone from nothing to so much, and he's also very in touch with his spiritual side and with his heart. So really looking forward to diving deep into Lee's life and what makes him tick. Welcome to the Networking Spark. I'm really excited to be interviewing Kane Barron, who is really... Oh, no, hold on. What does he do?
Do you want to do a different one? And come back to it?
Podcast. Okay. Welcome back to the Networking Spark. I'm really excited to be interviewing a podcasting expert today. Welcome back to the Networking Spark. Today I'm really excited to be interviewing a podcasting expert, Kane Barron from the Podcasters Podcast, if you can get all of those words out. He's a great guy. Right. Welcome back to the Networking Spark. Today I'm going to be interviewing Kane Barron from the Podcasters Podcast. So it's really exciting to be interviewing an expert in podcasting. Have a listen, see what you can learn, and let's dive deep into the man that is Kane Barron.
Tatiana?
Welcome back to the Networking Spark. Today we're going to be interviewing an international pianist who has developed her own method of teaching that is totally unique to her. Tatiana Kot, originally from Belarus, is a creative entrepreneur as well as a pianist. So let's dive deep into what makes her tick.
Hina?
What's her surname? Selensky.
Solanki.
Solanki.
Solanki. So yeah, Hina Solanki.
Welcome to a beautiful version. No, sorry. Welcome to a beautiful episode of the Networking Spark. Today I'm interviewing Hina Solanki, who is...
Solanki. There's no second
Solanki.
S. Solanki. Yeah.
Welcome back to a beautiful episode of the Networking Spark. Today... Welcome back to the Networking Spark. In today's beautiful episode, I'm interviewing Hina, who is so many things. She's a healer, an entrepreneur, a mum, an inspiration. She's been through so much. She's even met the Queen. Let's get diving deep into Hina's life. This is another one for Hina.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Networking Spark. In this beautiful episode, I'm going to be interviewing Hina, someone I really personally connected with myself. Hina is an entrepreneur. She's gone through so much. She's a healer. She's really in touch with her energy, her intuition, and I'm super excited to bring this to you. Don't miss this episode. And then who was it? Tutu. Welcome back to the Networking Spark. Today I'm really excited to interview Tutu from Technis Academy. Tutu has written multiple books and built up an incredible business where she has over 2,000 students. She is super successful. So let's get deep into what makes Tutu tick.
Kieran.
I've done, Kieran.
Just you're on a roll.
Yeah.
Just do another one.
Welcome to the Networking Spark. I'm really excited that you're here. Today I'm going to be interviewing Kieran Kevin, who is not just a social media strategist, he's also been on a journey from being an international world champion in men's physique fitness to a place where he never thought he was going to walk again, and has come on a total turnaround journey to where he is today. You don't want to miss this. Okay, thank you. That's everyone, yeah?
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, that's everyone.
Because in my post this morning,
Yeah.
I was tagging people. I forgot to tag Tracy. I was like, oh no. Good. What about the ads? I can't forget the ads. Do you have your computer? The ads.
I
I'll
don't
do
have
this.
the ads.
I'll do this freestyle because
I
this
don't
is
have
really
the ads, though.
important.
I just have. I don't have the
Oh,
ads.
that's okay. I wrote them later. That's why.
Well, let me hit record again.
Oh, I could really do with just having a quick look at those. So
Okay. Yeah, have a look at those. We're back recording one last time, so. It's easier if I sit over here. You seem to be more comfortable.
the ads.
Yeah.
Would it be me speaking, or would I just be reading them?
You can do them either way.
Because it would be with like.
Mostly, well, the host read ads would be you just talking to the camera. And then on the podcast, again, it's just the audio. So we can just. We'll
Can I
cut
do
the audio
both?
out, and then, yeah, you can read them. So you can just say reading, and then read it,
Okay.
and then you can do a recorded one if you want, or we can just do the audio ones and only use them on the audio podcast.
All right. So, reading. Are you ready to elevate your business? Join Spark Business Networking today. Supercharge your success with Spark Business Networking, the ideal hub for driven entrepreneurs and professionals. Expand your network. Blech, let's do it again. Reading. Are you ready to elevate your business and go to the next level? Join Spark Business Networking today. Supercharge your success with Spark Business Networking, the ideal hub for driven entrepreneurs and professionals. Expand your network, boost your visibility, gain valuable insights, and foster key relationships. Ignite your confidence for ultimate business growth. Visit sparkbusinessnetworking.com and join us now to unlock endless possibilities for your entrepreneurial journey. Spark Business Networking, where connections ignite success. That'll do. I've written loads and loads and loads.
Well, there's also different linked ones, right? There's like a 10-second, or there's like a stinger.
Yeah,
cut
but
out
people-
almost thing, and then 30. You don't want to go more than 30 seconds.
Shall I? I'll try and.
So
I'll
I
do-
don't know how long that was. I wasn't timing it.
Reading. Join a dynamic community of driven entrepreneurs, professionals, and industry leaders who are passionate about growth, and like-minded individuals who inspire, support, and empower you to reach new heights. Expand your network and connect with a diverse range of professionals across various industries. Increase your visibility and showcase your expertise and services in a relaxed atmosphere. Learn from industry experts, attend workshops, and stay ahead of the thread. Build genuine connections that can lead to new clients, partnerships, and collaborations. Boost your confidence. Surround yourself with a supportive community that believes in your success. So don't miss out on this opportunity to ignite your business growth. Join Spark Business Networking to unlock endless possibilities for your entrepreneurial journey. Spark Business Networking, where connections ignite success.
Now, can you do another one, but a little further away from the
Oh,
microphone?
fucking hell.
Just in case, because it that close,
Yeah.
I feel you may get some buzziness from it. So
Yeah.
it's okay. Just try it again.
Reading. Join a dynamic community of driven entrepreneurs, professionals, and industry leaders who are passionate about growth and collaboration. At Spark Business Networking, we connect you to like-minded individuals who inspire, support, and empower you to reach new heights. Expand your network and connect with a diverse range of professionals across various industries. Increase your visibility and showcase your expertise and services in a relaxed atmosphere. Learn from industry experts, attend workshops, and stay ahead of the trends. Build genuine connections that can lead to new clients, partnerships, and collaborations. Boost your confidence. Surround yourself with a supportive community that believes in your success. So don't miss out on this opportunity to ignite your business growth. Visit sparkbusinessnetworking.com today. So scrap that bit and just replace it. Don't miss out on this opportunity to ignite your business growth. Visit our website today at sparkbusinessnetworking.co.uk. Scrap that. Don't miss out on this opportunity to ignite your business growth. Scrap that. Don't miss out on this opportunity to ignite your business growth. Join Spark Business Networking to unlock endless possibilities for your entrepreneurial journey. Spark Business Networking, where connections ignite success. Add 2, reading. Own your success with a Spark franchise opportunity. Are you looking to own a thriving business that sparks success? Could you be a good fit to run a Spark network? Join a proven and innovative business model that empowers entrepreneurs to flourish in the dynamic world of networking. But why choose a Spark franchise? Well, it's a business ready to go with an established brand. Benefit from the credibility and recognition of the Spark Business Networking brand. It's a proven system. Access the comprehensive framework that guides you towards success. There is ongoing support with training, admin assistance, and continuous support for your franchise. Own a piece of the business networking market in your designated area. Growth potential. Tap into a lucrative industry and expand your business as a part of a trusted network. Ready to ignite your entrepreneurial journey with a Spark franchise? Visit sparkbusinessnetworking.co.uk to learn more about this exciting opportunity. Spark franchise, where entrepreneurials, forget that bit. I'm going to do it one more time. Franchise, so it's add 2, reading. Own your success with a Spark franchise opportunity. Are you looking to own a thriving business that sparks success and elevates your presence in the business world? Could you be a good fit to run a Spark network of your own? Join a proven and innovative business model that empowers entrepreneurs to flourish in the dynamic world of networking. It's a business ready to go with an established brand. Benefit from the credibility and recognition of Spark. Access the comprehensive framework that guides you towards success. And there is ongoing support with training, admin assistance, and continuous support for your franchise. own a piece of the business networking market in your designated area. Tap into a lucrative industry and expand your business as part of a trusted network. So are you ready to ignite your entrepreneurial journey with a Spark franchise? Get in touch today. Add 3, reading. Would you like to learn how to create your own professional podcast? Podcasting is an excellent way of networking, of advertising, and building credibility. And we can show you how. Join us for a 2-day training session where you can learn all of the skills, tech, marketing, and business to create and monetize your podcast. Get in touch with us to book your place on a training today. Add 3. Would you like to learn how to create your own professional podcast? Podcasting is an excellent way of networking, advertising, and building credibility. We can show you how. Join us for a 2-day training where you will learn all of the skills, the tech, the marketing, and business skills to create and monetize your own podcast. Get in touch with us to book your place on a training today. Okay, and then, so ads, filming. Thank you. Would you like to use the power of networking to really elevate your business? Come and join Spark Business Networking. Come along to an event. Get involved in the training that we offer. There's so much at Spark to help you grow your business. We'd really love to see you. Add 2. So we know you like listening to podcast. Sorry, no, that's not it. Add 2. Would you like to run your own business networking group? Well, you're in luck because Spark is expanding and we've got opportunities for the right people to run their own Spark business networking groups. We provide ongoing training, admin support, tech support, everything that you need. You have a business in a box, but it does need to be for the right person. So if that could be you, if you've got a little bit of spark in you and you're prepared to do what it takes to build your network and make it work and really elevate yourself as a leader, then please do get in touch today and see if you're a good fit to run a Spark franchise. Add 3. So you are listening to add 3. So you're listening to a podcast here, but maybe you'd like to run your own podcast. Add 3. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. It's great to have you here. If by any chance you fancy making your own podcast, then we have a 2-day training that can really walk you through how to do all of the tech, how to create a great podcast, how to monetize it, how to use it for advertising, all of the marketing, the business skills, and everything you need to know about creating your own podcast. Get in touch today and we'll try and get you booked in. Okay. Done.
Cool.
Do you think he's going to charge us for the extra 15 minutes?
Probably.
Right.
Seeing as he's quietly dying somewhere in the corner.
Okay, let's go, shall we? Get back out in the sunshine.
Well, we've got to transfer all the data and stuff, so that's going to take a few minutes.
Okay. Do you mind if I go and stand outside in the sunshine? Is there anything I can do?
Yeah.
What can I do?
Have you got your stuff?
Yeah, my stuff's here.
Oh, it's there. Okay. If you see all this time of year, I have to just I take like a 24-hour antihistamine.
Yeah.
And then just do it that way. You can just whack them on here. I think that's probably the quickest way.
I'll need to use your Mac or my Mac.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sorry, I wasn't understanding what you were asking.
I am production manager. Scott, you have that. I'm hoping so that just having troubles with it.
You need to adjust. We need to eject that.
Which one's your ones?
This one. So these ones are mine. Yeah, if you want to wait outside and warm up.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
You
Thank
can.
you. Thank you, Callum.
Yeah, no problem.
I hope you feel better soon.
After summer's finished, I'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's turning into proper talent. Go all over the place.
Who would be the last 12? 6? Let's have a look. Nope, it's not 6. This is where it gets interesting now because, okay, 24th, 26th of the 5th, 24th. So that one. Could be this one. It's not this one. This is where I get scared.
There should be a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You just gotta find the first one, I guess.
So, There we go. This is it. Yeah, it must be this one. That will be the first. So, apologies with the naming.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'll sort it out.
So let's go into your one. It's called DB Archive.
Yeah, so TV archive, yeah, and then just go in feature and media, networking Spark, and then just create a folder for today. Yeah, that's cool.
That is doing its thing, which is going to take about 5 minutes. We'll go into Roadcaster now, open a new tab. Let's see what minutes.
Sweet.
Should be good. Okay, I'm gonna try to get a bit more of a sugar rush. Give me a sec. I'm just thinking, what can I do to just wake myself up?
Yeah. That's the power. Yeah. So cool. Proper fucking. They're coming.
Let's see. Oh, and we have 4 minutes and 1 minute. Okay,
Yeah, it's fine.
not too bad.
Yeah, I was over there as well.
Falling
Just
asleep.
kind of like
Yep.
fucking drifting off. I was like, fucking hell. All right.
Because initially, the way we had it set up was the engineer or production manager would be in here,
Yeah.
and then I realized, nah, that's just too much.
Yeah.
That's too much. It's too much.
Did it freak people out? Like some people? Because I know she gets funny if I'm sitting there and she's trying to record.
Yeah.
So I move over there so she can kind of just look into the camera and whatever.
Exactly. So some
So-
people want the support with somebody actually in here,
Yeah.
and some prefer
Like
the ones
moral
in here.
support. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, having somebody in here is too much work and stress.
Yeah.
Because if anything goes wrong, they're looking to blame the person that was in here
Yeah.
in the first place.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. You should have told me my hair doesn't look good. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it the engineer? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would it be? I've had some crazy clients, you know.
I'm sure.
Yeah. They've chosen the black background, but they're wearing black.
Yeah.
It's like, huh? You're complaining. You've chosen what you've chosen, but you want to complain. I'm like, nah. It's best not to have an engineer in here. Going forward, it's too much.
But see, those are all the little tips, right? That
Yeah.
you kind of like you almost do like short form content to make all that stuff. Like, here's some tips.
Yeah.
If you want to video record and you're gonna show up to the studio, here's some things to think about.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be on a black background, don't wear black.
Exactly.
I wonder if that's why Brogan uses the red curtains in the back.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he's got like curtains like this
Yeah.
behind his guest, but he uses the red ones.
Okay, because they'll definitely stand out.
Because then it would be very difficult for someone to blend in, even if they wore red, because it's that, it's the red theater curtain red.
Yeah.
It's probably actually theater curtains is probably what he has, but yeah, because I've thought about using the lighter blue,
Yeah.
like just a little bit lighter blue if I had a
Right.
background, so not so dark,
Yeah.
because they always use blue lights on stage, right? Because your skin pops against the blue usually.
Yeah.
So I thought about, because I was looking at some just for behind me in my desk in my office, because I'm just like, I need something,
Yeah.
because
So
I've got like,
blue lights or
Yeah.
blue curtains? What was you looking?
I was thinking the blue curtains
Yeah.
to have behind, because it would also use some sound deadening as well, because I've got like 12-foot ceilings
Okay.
and it's echoey as fuck in there.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna make some sound panels. So I've got like 36 of the foam things, and what I was gonna do is make some. I've got some boards to put them on,
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I've seen
and I was gonna put them on the boards, and then I can hang the
Hang them.
boards,
Yes.
and I can move them if I need to move them.
Mhm.
Plus, but the biggest problem with the office, which I didn't really think about
Yeah.
when I moved in there,
Mhm.
is that it's a grade 2 listed building.
Oh, okay.
It may be a grade 1 listed building, but basically you can't even paint a wall
Wow.
without getting approval.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So even the rooms in the basement that are like the shitty. Remember, I told you there was like this nice room that I thought I might be able to use,
Yeah.
but they're like, yeah, but you can't do anything. Because I said, oh well, we could put a little bit of this on the glass wall. Like there's a shitty glass separator wall, right? It's
Yeah.
not. There's nothing listed about that. It's from like the fucking 80s or some
Yeah.
shit. And they're like, no. If you wanted to put the, just the plastic that that you can't see through. I can't remember the name for it, but even to put that on there, you have to get permission from the fucking guy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, well, that's not going to work for a studio because we're going to have to do a bunch of shit in here.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to need to paint like random colors on the walls and, maybe do the ceiling in black and they're like, nah, that's not going to happen.
What I wanted to do, I don't know if it's called plywood.
Yeah.
Get the wood, get them on the wheels, and then create different backgrounds.
Yeah, yeah.
On it. So that
Yeah.
way you could just literally just roll it, move it to where
Yeah.
you need it to be.
Yeah. I've seen those.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
They look cool.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Like, ooh, do I have the time to do this? I don't have the expertise to do it. That's number one.
It's not that hard though. They're
Yeah.
pretty easy to do. You just build, you build your 8-foot frame or whatever it is,
Yep.
and it's like standard, like standard plywood or drywall.
Yeah.
Because really, all you need is drywall.
Yeah.
So you need a couple of studs that you can nail the drywall into. Just build a massive frame the size that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If it
know.
was for like, your pet project at home,
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah,
But when you want it to be professional, it's like, no,
Yeah.
just pay the professional to do it.
I wanted one. The metal tubes that you use for like railings outside.
Yep. Yep.
I thought about just making a frame
Mhm.
like that
Yeah.
that was on rollers
Yes.
that had the curtains on it.
Uh-huh.
So then, same thing. So in the building, I could literally roll it around. So if I wanted it behind my desk, then I can sort of roll it over, put it behind.
Yeah.
But you could have one color curtain on one side and one color on the other side. So you might have a green one for a green screen.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So you've got that on one side, and then you've got the curtain on the other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could, and you can kind of do like whatever you need to do with them or whatever.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah.
would work. That would definitely work.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Same shit.
I see why you got your shorts out.